Hello, everyone. Welcome to a wonderful new and exciting Vampire the Masquerade game with some really wonderful people. This is Vampire the Masquerade, the Boon Office. It is a combination of The Office and the and Vampire the Masquerade combined together to create a horror comedy. And I'm very excited to bring these people through this roller coaster of a game that I've been working on for a little while. So let's start by introducing these wonderful people and starting to get to meet these wonderful characters that they've created for you as well. Starting with Victoria.
Hi, I'm Victoria. You can find I'll be playing, sorry. I'll be playing Luis Estrada, the Tremere of the our lovely little group. And you can find me on Twitter at Jesus underscore spicy. So yeah.
Mm, fascinating. Hi, I'm Serena, and I am going to be playing Miss Sunrise. I'm very excited, and she's always going to be going for that employee of the month, if that still matters in this corporate setting, because we're immortal. But it's good to have goals. So,
Hi everyone, my name is Aaron Music Productions. I'm going to be playing Jeremy Hayes, the sort of newbie Ventru, maybe a little bit annoying, maybe a little bit reckless. We'll soon see.
I am Kat. I am playing Imogen Grady, the lone office Banu Hakim, because you only need one. Otherwise, you might scare off the rest of the workers in the building. I don't know.
This is true. Please.
I will be. You can find me as Dead and Glow on a lot of places on the internet. That's about it. So, all right.
Please look at all these wonderful people and all their wonderful games as they come up because you aren't going to want to miss them. And I'm Ethan, of course, the storyteller of this game and these wonderful people that we find ourselves with today. And without further ado, we will bring ourselves into New York City, which some of us find ourselves familiar with these nights. Some time before a lot of things happening recently. New York is a large, bustling city, a place where life continues endlessly. The city streets themselves are. The city itself is like a giant body. The streets like veins, capillaries. The cars and the people moving around like cells in a body. As it breathes from a distance, you can almost see it in its way. Its glow, sort of almost like breath, up and down. During the daytime, New York is full of businessmen, taxis, food, street vendors everywhere. Rubbish littered all over the streets. Subway cars loudly rattling along through the city. People get up, they make their way through, they get their morning coffees, go to the subways, go to the cafes, line up endlessly, make their way to their office jobs, buy, sell stocks, organize things, call, take meetings, eat food, drink, until later in the day when they finish up work, they close down, they make their way home, and the sun itself, as it begins to set. Today is a Friday night as the sun comes down. Everyone has this more choleric and sanguine energy to them these nights. As for most people, the work week is over. For some people, working time has just begun. As the clubs, the late night street vendors for food, the late night kebabs and the late night pizzas, all open up their bright shops, illuminating this area. In a lot of different places across the city, lights flicker on, the city becomes more bright, and some may argue is even more alive than it was during the daytime. And the city itself finds more moving bodies at this time. It is not just the ones who make their way through these office jobs and those who make their way to these vendors, to these nightclubs. We find another type of body, another type of what appears to be immortal. Something that, well, if humans ever discovered actually existed, might be quite a problem for them. I think we'll begin in the similar order we did with introductions. Victoria, how does Luis, my apologies. Please roll a d10 for your hunger, and once you've done that, describe how Luis awakens and where they awaken this night.
I got a 3.
3.
He wakes up in a very lavish penthouse, something that is very spacious and very expensive, especially since they live in New York. The type of luxury he provides himself is as expensive as a luxury. And he's probably shooing out somebody that he used as food the previous night, and sort of meticulously just grooms himself to kind of sort of take away the persona he had the previous night and to get into his sort of workplace mode that he needs to be in a few hours or in an hour, maybe.
Does this involve some sort of new outfit being put on? Does this involve some sort of new face being put on?
Yes, it sort of actually begins when he gets out of the shower, dries himself off, everything like that. And he just sort of looks himself in the mirror, and then it's sort of just like a deep breath and almost sort of like meditative, just kind of just putting yourself in it's sort of the motions of putting yourself into another mentality. And he sort of has like 2 separate wardrobes, and he opens up his workplace wardrobe and takes out it's just lined with like this, with like similar, not the same, but similar dark suits that are maybe a little too big for him, but he puts on either way, and puts his hair back. His hair is very long, so he puts it in a bun in the back, and gets his suitcase, any papers that he needs, and is finally ready to leave for the day, probably looking at his work phone to see if there's any calls.
Yeah, we'll get to what happens on the work phone. Would Luis check their other phone? Or are we
Their
leaving
other
that?
phone? I think since he just got himself into this mentality, he wouldn't.
Okay.
They just sort of like, if I don't look at it right now, it doesn't exist.
And what, as Luis steps out into the busy streets, probably actually a quieter area, I imagine, if it's a rather lavish place, into these sort of rolling hills and sections, probably just outside of the city, but overlooking it. If say there's someone walking down the street, it's a midnight jogger, or someone taking out their small chihuahua for a walk, what description would they see, Louise?
They would see a tall man, broad, but you can't really see if he has any muscle or anything since he wears such sort of like baggy, not baggy, but large clothes on him. So you can't really see. He does have a very handsome face. He is a Mexican man, maybe in his late 20s, early 30s. He looks very serious all the time.
Mm.
And he has
Please.
black hair that he puts back in a bun.
I love it. As he makes his way down, the Chihuahua starts barking and snarling as those small dogs tend to do towards anything slightly strange to them. The person shuffles on, the jogger gives a quick glance and decides to move a little bit faster along the street. And what sort of transportation does Luis take? Is it a taxi? Is it a personal ghoul? Do they drive themselves?
They call an Uber, like one of those like fancy Uber cars. There's the Uber XLs or something like that.
Yeah. No expenses are not used, like all of it. I love that. And before as we sort of follow Luis into the city and get a view of this skyrise all the way up, we sort of go down, up and up and up along these shiny silvery mirrors that reflect the very soul of the city itself, all the lights, all the other skyscrapers nearby, and all the offices everywhere. How do we see, well, starting, Serena, if you would, rolling a d10. Now we are rolling a d10, halving and rounding up for today's hunger levels.
Okay, that's an 8. So is that 4 hunger?
Someone wakes up hungry. How does sunrise awaken and where?
While as kindred now, we don't have, there's that just sudden awareness that you are awake now, and we don't use excess energy. I think sunrise still has that mentality that I have to be the first one awake. I still have so much to do. So there's kind of like maybe a little bit extra more force in her eyes opening and then just immediately going off the list of things that I have to do. And with a push, the wall pops open and creaks down like one of those old stowaway beds, but it's fully in like a handmade, like jury-rigged handmade coffin with some like plush lining that's just part of this wall that fully turns out down into a refurbished supply closet. All of the cleaning supplies and shelves have been cleared out and has been left with there's a small dresser that is in here for accidents that might happen, a desk, a full, probably the most expensive thing in this room is a full 2-monitor screen, hard drive, like a really expensive computer set. And that's probably the most expensive thing in this office. There is a poster that says, "You can do it, you a bad bitch," on the wall as she gets up, kind of stretches, and she has her outfit laid out in the dresser already, fresh from the cleaners. And it's just already starting off okay, gotta do more kind of energy as she finishes getting dressed and then heads just straight out from the supply closet into the office floor.
As the highly encrypted security cameras of this place sort of buzz around, Sunrise, being very familiar with this place, they don't record audio. They are merely to remind you that someone is always watching, that there is always something going on here. What would these cameras, if someone was sitting behind as a security guard, or perhaps a Nosferatu behind this security system, how would they see sunrise?
Yeah. So sunrise is like slightly above average for a woman, maybe about 5'6", with heels on. So slightly above average, maybe a little bit below if you really got to ask the right questions. Black woman with braids that she's pushed over to the side and kind of secured with silver braid cuffs so they don't fall into her face. And her style is always, she loves to wear pants. That's never, since it was socially allowed to wear pants, she's never gone back. And because she loves just the freedom of doing so, but she will always have, as a point of a fact, she likes to wear very pronounced shoulder jackets, and the undershirt's always a pop of color. Sunrise loves color, and will have it on her nails, which today are 3 of them are bright yellow, 1 is silver chrome, and then the last one on her thumb is white. That's the right number of fingers. She, any way that she can add color while still having this crisp professional air is how she carries herself.
The only thing that, as you see sunrise making their way into the office area, there are private rooms for most of you with some sort of mask name printed on the fronts for each of you, organized by the Prince of New York. And there is the only person who would be up at this time might be the janitor. Then again, they always are late to work.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunrise would see no one but themselves are here currently.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything Sunrise would do before people get here?
Yeah. Anything that's out of place immediately put in its place. There's just something visceral, especially with how hungry she is right now, that anything out of place must be put back. Everything has to be presented perfectly, even though they have people for the job. It's like, I'll just do it. I'll do it. I'm happy to. So just like, there's just a physical reaction to just get everything in order, even if it's already clean and it just redoes it.
There is always a stapler in need of straightening.
Yes, indeed.
Always.
45 degrees is much better than 90. And that's just aesthetically pleasing, and it's useful in that position. So that's just my opinion.
Also knowing certain people in the office, such as the boss, who you would know as Danny Schmidt, or Daniel, but he prefers if you call him Danny because he's a big office family man. Believes they're all one big family. Very messy person. There are scrunched up little sticky notes everywhere for all the offices and different things. A lot of blatant masquerade breaches by leaving these around. And there is a lot of little doodles that he's done when you know he should be working. He's got his feet up on the desk, the shutters are down, and he's working on this little comic book that he's been working on for a long time. And it's just Batman, but it's him. You know, it's just Danny imagining himself as Batman. And they are. I'll make a craft roll for Danny right now to see how good these drawings are. They're okay with 2 successes with very low craft skill. 2 successes. They're actually okay. Not too bad. Maybe the facial proportions are a little bit out, but everything else, like he's got the muscles pretty well down, and the lines of action, the big pows with the explosion effect. Lots of different things.
I love it. I'm very happy to work here with Zanny. it's great. So I'll pick up those discarded pieces of sticky notes, and I have a binder that I have, especially the ones that have the Boon details on them, because every now and again it's like, what was that again, or who threw away my stuff, and it's gotten us in trouble more than one occasion. So I've
That's
just
right.
don't throw anything away even if Danny's crumpled it, because it'll always come up again. So I'll just try to smooth that out, put it in the binder, and try not to. He's in charge, so he can treat the office as he wants.
The fact that the binder is thicker than you would expect of sticky notes alone, the occasional writing on the back of like a business card or like a hotel, pamphlet that has Boon details on it. The fact
lot
that
of
this
bar
is
napkins.
so many bar napkins, also with their own doodles, almost over some of the Boon descriptions.
Okay, some of the stuff has got to be fake. There's something in here about Sal owes 4 toes. I don't, that can't be real. And then, this was my favorite. Watched a thin blood eat a hot dog. And then there's just dollar signs. I don't know what this is. That's my life that I love.
We see flipping through all this to find an empty pocket. You might need a new binder at some point.
Oh my God.
We see the reflection sort of shimmer of the lights of the pages themselves. And I would like Aaron to describe how Jeremy Hayes awakens this night. And also roll a d10. Halve it and round it up for today's hunger.
1. I rolled a 1. In contrasts to poor old Sunrise, Jeremy wakes up in pure filth. He does wake up in a nice penthouse apartment that was provided to him by his wealthy family. But as he is only recently deceased, they are not aware that he has died, and so he keeps all of his family sort of resources there. He wakes up in a nice silk bed, but it looks like it has not been changed or made in like 5 years. It's been a while. Since he is a bit of a party animal, he might not see this bed as much as he wants to. More so since his death, of course, as he is required to sleep. But he is not particularly clean. So he'll wake up in these nice silk sheets. But his room will be a pure mess. There'll be nice decoration paintings, posters maybe, but they'll all be in a manner that would make Sunrise want to claw her eyes out. They'll all be off kilter. Some of them will be only slightly off kilter, but a lot of them will be nearly upside down. There will be potted plants that have not been watered, so they're just dead. They'll be in the room. There'll be a armchair opposite the bed and to the right that will just be covered in clothing. With on the left-hand side of the bed will be a wardrobe that will just be empty. All of his clothes are on the chair. His fashion sense, speaking of it, is not very good. He will legitimately just put on a pair of pants and a t-shirt, and that'll be his vibe. I don't think he's showered, so he probably smells very bad. It is Friday, but however, Jeremy knows that Thursday night is ladies' night, so he will have been out the night prior, which probably means he skipped work. But he doesn't seem to care. He's an intern. He's cool with Danny. He's cool with Dan the man. So he's fairly he's in high spirits, let's put it that way. Yeah, he'll chuck on a t-shirt, he'll chuck on a pair of pants, probably some faded jeans that have they look like they were bought ripped, but they weren't bought ripped. That kind of sense. He's not a clean guy, and he will exit his bedroom into his sort of main living area, and just chill there until he gets some sort of notification that he needs to go.
Is
Let's put it that way.
is there some blood mixed when people drink alcohol, do drugs, or do anything in particular that changes their blood in certain ways, it can affect our kindred as well. Is there alcohol infused blood in Jeremy's system right now?
For sure, as it is his prey exclusion is intoxicated people. So it is how he hunts. But Jeremy, he's not the smartest cookie. And so his apartment is stocked with quite a lot of alcohol that he cannot drink, but still pertains to drink. So there will be some in the sink, the adjacent sink, there will be some vomit stains as he has had to regurgitate all of that back up as he drinks it. It's always when he does it, he goes, "Damn, I should have remembered that," or "Fuck." He still gets it. Still gets the alcohol, man.
As the young ones tend to do, they don't quite get used to everything that is part of the kindred lifestyle. And as we sort of flash back to you, Jeremy, remembering some of the things that happened last night, how would the ladies at Ladies' Night see Jeremy? How do they look?
The magic of Ladies' Night is a few drinks in you and anyone looks attractive, and that is doubly true for good old Jeremy. Let's be fair, he is a stunningly beautiful man, even in the world of mortals. But it is his lack of intelligence that really lets him down in a lot of situations. But with the ladies, he is very capable, and that sort of shows when he does move out. Even in his ventru state, he is quite influential with the mortals, and so he finds it quite easy to sort of corral attention from the opposite sex.
Excellent. The Ventru, a lot of people hanging shit on the Ventru, and we forget that they are kings for a reason. They are one of the most prominent clans in modern knights for many reasons, and they hold a lot of sway over the mortals, the ones that hunt them in these night times. They are influential and extremely important. As we see the reflections on different bottles resembling all the different shining lights of the city, and the binder that Sunrise is flipping through, and Luis's the sides of the Uber car of this probably young man who's hoping to make some sort of bonus out of Luis. I'll ask Kat, how does Imogen Grady awaken compared to the rest of these kindred?
Surprisingly, Imogen wakes up in her bed, unlike the previous nights where she woke up in her laboratory on the floor. But this time she remembered to go to her bed. So she woke up in her bed. So that has happened finally after like a month of waking up on the laboratory floor.
What is Imogen's hunger at? If you would roll a d10, halve it, and round it up for me, that would be wonderful. We're getting a nice variation of hunger levels so far, which is excellent.
5.
So we got a 5, so that would be halved, rounded up would be 3.
I got a 9 on my die when I rolled it.
Oh, I see. Your hunger level is at 5. Excellent.
No, it's not 5. I rolled a 9. I rolled a 9 on my die. And then you told me to... Oh, my hunger level is at 5.
Yeah, 9 halved is 4.5, rounded up is 5. You were at hunger 5 awakening today, Imogen. As you awaken in the bed, what does the place look like? Is it fairly organized? Is it fairly?
Oh no, it's very organized. It's very clean, and she wakes up with her like beast screaming in her head,
Mm,
and basically it's her sire yelling at her in the language that they speak
mm,
normally because she was turned in a different place other than the United States.
mm.
Um, and she also, when she notices, she wakes up, she notices her entire wardrobe has been changed out that she normally has. Normally, she has more of a business attire. She likes to order from TJ Maxx. In this case, it's not TJ Maxx, it's whatever her sire would want her to wear.
Wow. I might ask for a Fury Frenzy check, I think. Let's make a Fury Frenzy check. We're starting to describe this for everybody. What the beast feels like is this prowling, this subconscious voice, this thing at the edge, that voice that tells you when to do things, what to do constantly. It doesn't quieten. It is um, your id, your part of yourself that wants to survive, eat, thrive, dominate. It is some of the darker parts of you, but also some of the more important parts. Sometimes listening to the beast can be important. It wants you to live. It wants you to thrive and survive and feast forever. And its instincts are often right. Even if when it gets its way, it can be a bit over the top for our modern knights. The feeling of hunger is not in the stomach for our kindred. It is an entire being. As you get hungrier, it's almost like there's a warmth at the back of the spine, at the back of the brain, that sort of makes its way down along, like a shiver, but very slowly, and start to feel like getting flushed with blood. It has that warmth, that tingle, that reminder that it's there. And it is a vast emptiness of the entire body. It's like you're starting to see red. You're hazing over, you're blinking. You're trying to focus on what people are saying, but it's really hard to listen. How do we do on our Fury Frenzy, Imogene?
What do I have to roll for? Do I just roll one die?
Your remaining willpower.
Remaining willpower.
So this will be a provocation, be difficulty 2. You can also choose to ride the wave. If you fail a Fury Frenzy, any sort of frenzy roll, I will give you suggestions of how to play your character and what will actually happen. Basically, I'll take some slight control of them. The beast will, or if you choose to ride the wave, you can appropriately roleplay your character going through that frenzy and sort of direct it a bit yourself if you decide to.
I'm gonna roll.
Okay,
Let
difficulty
fate
2.
decide your roll. I got, what is considered a success for you?
6 and above.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. As Imogen, you wake up, you see this, you probably hold your head as the pulsing starts to begin, like a migraine at the back of the head. A warmth, but not a warmth. As you are dead, you are cold. And you see this provocation without even thinking. The fangs are out. You are probably gripping your head too hard, but manage to hold on very briefly. You know that this might not last throughout this entire night, but this will need to be fixed at some point. But you hold on control. The beast has gripped the reins, is about to whip the horse forward, but no, you wrench it back. Bring yourself back with probably some breathing controls, perhaps. I believe Imogene is quite the good performer of sorts. Would have very good breathing control, even though you don't need to as a kindred.
she knows that if she eats or she goes to like feed off a herd, that she probably will kill them
Mm.
because that sort of thing. While I know necessarily you don't have to go through your entire predator type, you just have to use the roll of things. That's things that I've learned. You can use it, you don't have to use it.
That's
It's always
right.
fun to use it.
If you would like to make a feeding roll before you go to work, you are absolutely welcome to. Unless there's another particular way that you have a way of feeding. Maybe Imogene has a backup blood bag somewhere for emergencies, or
She's generation. She is 10th generation. One blood bag won't do anything. She does have blood bags, but that's for other reasons. So she's hastily gonna get dressed, ignoring the fact that her sire just changed her entire wardrobe on her while she was sleeping or while she was in her laboratory, and she didn't notice when she came back to go to sleep. She's just gonna grab a blue, the thing that I'm wearing right now, a blue cutoff sleeve top, black skirt, and she has those, like, Kinder can't get tattoos, but now there's these stickers that you can apply that make them look like tattoos. So she has these stickers applied on her arms that make her look like she has tattoos. And she's actually going to go hunting in the alleyway on her while she's waiting for her car to get there.
excellent.
There's a car that somebody drives her to work.
Great. Let's make a hunting roll then. Depending on your particular feeding type, you will each have a unique feeding, a combination of a attribute and a skill to feed with.
Yep.
And New York
Yep.
City on a Friday night, when it's a city that never sleeps, there are always warm bodies to feast on.
Always warm bodies.
Mhm.
She's like, she accidentally kills somebody, she'll just ask for help. So.
Camarilla is very particular about these things. How many successes?
I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I wasn't supposed to, that one I didn't need to roll. I got 4 successes.
4
and 2 of them are 10s.
successes. 2 of them. So
And
it's
these are all on my hunger dice because she's hunger 5.
So it's a messy critical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it's a messy critical,
Hang on, I gotta bring this up.
there is a Imogene is in control until the alleyway, until the moment we see the person, someone who's bought a midnight kebab, is rather intoxicated, trying to fill their own void of the empty stomach that they had coming out to this party night because they thought it would get them drunk faster. It turns out it did, way too fast, and they need to be outside for just a moment and fill themselves up with something. Imogene, I'll need a hunger frenzy roll, as not even the scent of blood or the sight of a human, the beast again tries to wrangle control from you. Almost feels like you're being tackled from the inside and wrestling with this incredible creature that grows stronger every minute that passes. This will be quite a difficult roll. I believe the difficulty is 5 at Hunger 5. I'll double check that for you.
I got
Is 4.
5 successes on my hunger.
You
my frenzy check again.
succeed.
She's just like, it hurts.
You know what is stronger than the beast? Yourself, your willpower that you, Imogene, has been sharpening this entire time of unlife. And because you control your hunger, you can choose how much blood you would like to take from this person to lower your hunger. As a
She's gonna
please.
She's gonna get drunk off of this, but that's okay. She is actually gonna take 3 off him and then call anonymous or have somebody like I don't know. She doesn't keep her phone on her. She doesn't like a cell phone.
A simple call out for help before
Yeah.
a disappearance.
Yep. So
Yeah, it's very easy to make this look like someone's passed out. Too much alcohol too quickly on an empty stomach. Always eat beforehand. It's very important that you do so.
mhm.
And quickly people come to their aid, make sure they call an ambulance, and they're there within no time. Imaging your self-control throughout these hunts is always special. This is an excellent example of how they usually go. Very under control, no matter how much your beast reins you through. Perhaps it's the cathartic activities you find yourself doing after work that have unleashed the beast more often than not that allows you to take control now. And
Mhm.
after some time, Imogene, as the car arrives, how does our driver see Imogene? What is their description? What do they look like?
Imogene is how tall did I make her? Average woman height, about 5'5". She's has a perpetual tan.
Hmm.
Even as a kindred, she has a perpetual tan. And she has long dark brown hair, grayish brown eyes. I don't know how you describe that. And she got hit on by Jeremy one time and she gave him a dirty look.
Excellent. And Imogene gets in the car, and you all, in your own ways, make your way to work. Jeremy, you receive personalized message from Danny being like, what would Danny call Jeremy? J Dog or Hazy or
That depends on you, Ethan, friend.
Hazy. I reckon Hazy is
Yeah, sure.
Hazy is the name Danny has picked. He probably changes it every once in a while to keep it fresh, to keep it cool with the kids, you know. And and Danny says, "Hey Hazy, all interns are meeting at 10 p.m. tonight at the office as per usual. Congrats on your new Harpy status. I'll be introducing you to everybody else, and you'll be put into a lovely, lovely family of Harpies." Signed sincerely, because he doesn't know how to text properly, Dan the Man, of course. And after some time, actually, how does Jeremy get to the office as well?
I didn't put any dots in drive, so I'm going to say he cannot drive. He might, for the sake of being a bit of a gym guy, he might just walk or have a slight jog to the office. Of course, he'll be bringing his favorite mug with him, #1 vampire written on it. You know, he'll just be he'll be vibing down the road. I was gonna say something, but I forget now. Oh yes, on the note for Harpy, he might be. Obviously, he doesn't know what a fucking Harpy is, so he thinks he has joined a new frat. So he is very excited to relive the frat life.
And begin with certain activities that often frats begin with to introduce new members to them. Each of our characters make their way through the bustling city, again, more awake than ever now. The smell of pizza, alcohol, and just garbage fills the air in some particular areas as you pass your way through. If you use your senses in that particular way, as Kindred, you don't necessarily need to.
It's a very mean way to describe Jeremy, but it's okay. I
And as you all make your way into these special car parks organized for you, you for those, actually, no, I'll explain it later. As you make your way into these car parks, make your way out, go into the elevators or take the stairs if you're La Sombra, and make your way up into this small office on the 42nd story of this sky rise that overlooks a lot of the buildings around you. It's quite a beautiful view, actually. Quite often overlooked by the sheer crazy events, the sheer, how might I put this better? Just amount of things that are messed up that happen around here, whether that be by the prince or above coming down for you guys to deal with, or the boss themselves, Danny, having to write all their information on masquerade breaching implements and tools and such. As you all make your way in, all four of you, I'll say, actually, no. Sunrise, Luis, and Imogene, you are the first ones to arrive in the office today, which is quite odd. Usually more people are here. Quite a few of the booths are actually more empty, Sunrise, you would notice, than usual. You can hear some... It would be some sort of Bon Jovi-esque song being sung really loud from Danny's office, by one of those really old Walkmans with the really bad headphones that go really loud outside, so you could probably still hear it. And the three of you arrive here together. Jeremy, on the other hand, you meet down in the foyer, or foyer if you prefer, with three other figures. There is a young, I say young-ish, but she looks maybe 25 years old, sort of bob cut, blonde hair, stretches out her hand and is greeting everybody else. They're all dressed in light blues, very similar colors to each other, except for the man here he's got graying long hair and a gray beard, and has like a bottle of beer by his side. You can hear clinking from his pockets as he's sort of moving around and shaking people's hands very lazily. Who's just wearing a black jacket over the top and jeans that are a bit torn up. And there is also another woman with long black hair who has a very sort of pale face, and she seems to be about 40 years old, and this man seems to be about 50, late 40s as well. A lot of graying streaks through it. The young woman smiles, gives shakes to each of you, and as you, Jeremy, arrive, she turns to you and says, "Oh, hello, you must be here for the internship as well. My name is Ginny." Holds out a hand to shake.
Jeremy will begin the interaction by giving a sort of smug but like cool kind of look as he brings out that mug I previously mentioned and sort of pretends to drink from it even though it's clearly empty, and everyone around knows that it's empty, and it's like it says #1 vampire on it.
There is a gasp, an audible gasp from the long dark-haired woman as she puts a hand up to her face, turns away, and like looks around like everywhere up at the cameras outside. She just goes to smack the cup out of your hands. Just goes to smack it onto the hands, out of your hands. How quick is Jeremy?
He's not quick, he's strong though.
Okay,
I don't know if that would help.
No. Let's have.
He might be able to.
Let's have a roll off, shall we? We'll do strength.
Sure.
Strength and athletics, I'll say, in this case.
Sure. Need that many.
You have to beat 1.
I did it. 3 successes.
Just this satisfying, like, sound as her hand like cups over the top perfectly and makes that popping sound. You do not move in the slightest, and she continues to
He's so unamused.
try and slap until she's so exhausted and just turns around flustered, starts twirling her hair, starts whispering something under her breath, and she pulls out a book at her side and starts flipping through it, and she bites into her finger, she starts drawing all these symbols and starts breathing very carefully as she's drawing out this large sort of blood sorcery into the book. And she's got her back facing to you currently. Ginny sort of just smiles and says, "Yep."
Jeremy would have just not sort of been like, even as this person was hitting at him, he would have just been focused on the attractive woman in front of him. So he's like, "Sir,
What's your name? I'm Ginny. This is Rufus. He gestures to the old looking man who sort of gives a like tip of the bottle to you, and that's about it. And this is L. Gestures to the frantic Tremere, gesturing and repeating the word to ghouls over and over and over into their book again and again and again. And after some time, closes the book, breathes, puts the book back, turns around, and just doesn't acknowledge anything that happened. Doesn't even smile, just looks at you, looks back. Ginny gives a lovely smile.
Jeremy will hold up his hand to the older gentleman in a fist bump as he's still looking at Ginny in front of him, and he goes, "Has Jeremy has."
You just you get a and he clinks your fist with the beer bottle. At
So he says, looking at him.
Ginny turns to all of you around, all the new interns here, and she says, "I'm so excited. It's my first day. I have never really been involved in harpy business before. Really Camarilla stuff going on, but I'm just very excited. I think it's going to be fantastic."
I'm like so excited to like go out partying and stuff, bruh.
All the office parties, yes, I know. Oh, I live for this sort of thing, all the close confinement. I love what Mr. Schmidt says about family being in the office. It really speaks to me, and I already feel like I belong here. I already think I am part of this community, this family that.
Is this Ginny speaking?
Yes, this is Ginny. She does not stop, by the way. She just keeps going on and on and on. It's strange how she's really good at bringing things back to herself in every possible circumstance. You can be like, I'll say you guys all sort of discuss amongst yourselves as things are happening. And at this point, Danny, you hear this loud, "Fuck!" And Danny steps out of the office, checking his phone, takes off his headphones and looks at all of you and says, "Nobody told me it was 10:15. I'll be right back," and just waltzes straight out of the office down towards the elevator, punching the buttons as fast as he can, and until the doors close. And Imogene, Sunrise, and Luis, you're left alone in the office for a little bit of time. Is there any discussion, anything your characters do in this moment?
So, are we being assigned an intern to babysit or something?
I really hope not.
Surprisingly, I actually have no idea. Have you also noticed where is everybody?
I
had no idea.
I have no
did not. I should probably go check my office. I might have some memos. I am HR. I should know these things.
Also, the two of you look so good today. Like, did you do something new?
Oh, thank you. No, but thank you either way. You look very nice as well.
I was thinking, I like to keep it a little put together, but no, I just had to say it because I can't see something and not say something. So yeah, I
My
hope. Yeah.
my sire came in while I was working and replaced my entire wardrobe without me noticing.
Ooh. So is this gonna be a burn the clothes in the lawn situation, or
I will go through them and probably donate them to the office wardrobe.
oh, look at you, all nice. That's okay. That's cool too. But I'm just saying, if you wanted that option,
If you need like some extra money that for this, this paycheck for extra clothes, I can probably, Danny won't know it, trust me.
My sire has a problem with me going to TJ Maxx all the time.
what he's dissing on you being Maxinista. That's problematic.
It's TJ
Yeah.
Maxx.
I don't accept that. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
I hope to God there are no Tremere interns. I've
Why?
been I hope to God.
Why don't you want another Tremere? Are you kidding me? It's probably gonna be full of nothing but other Toreador and Ventrue. That is what you have to worry about.
I mean, I suppose if there's a Tremere, I can scare them with the fact of my clan, because that's always fun to do.
Well, there you go. Imogen, you can be
Or
spooky
you-
when you want to. That is fully a compliment, I was gonna say, because sometimes you terrify me, and I've seen some shit. So, brava.
I just don't like dealing with my clan politics, and they've been trying to call me, and I've just been ignoring their calls. So
What did you do?
nothing. I just
Please.
haven't been. I just don't like. After I moved here, I just haven't really been
Mhm. I'm listening.
wanting to.
I'll participate.
And Luis is just trying to like go around the question.
It's very strange, Luis. You've suddenly found yourself like, all right, I am here to help people, and then suddenly you blink and you wake up by the blood cooler, and people are all. This is where everyone gathers. All of you have suddenly gravitated towards the blood cooler, have poured
Mhm.
yourself a little cup o' blood, and discussing the most recent events. Please, Kat.
I bought 2 cups of blood.
Ah, 2 cups of blood. Ready and prepared. Do some of you have thermoses that you prefer to?
I do. I have it's a monogram one that says sunrise on it, and it has a little metal straw because I have to have specialized blood as well. So I'm just sipping to that. Go on.
just like well, the chantry that I moved from to here was very shitty. So
Mm.
I just don't want to deal with just the in-clan drama and boring stuff they like to do, and I just don't want to deal with it.
I got
'Cause
you.
I-
Well, if anyone tries to step up to you, you send them in my direction. We'll iron it all out. It won't even be an issue.
Thank you.
As this discussion around the blood cooler continues, Danny makes his way downstairs. Jeremy, you would see Danny sort of go out of the elevator, pretend he's just a normal person working there, and make his way around the left, give you a smile, make his way around, and then fix his hair around the side where he thinks no one can see him, and makes his way back towards you. Danny Schmidt is he looks like he's about 22, 23. Blonde, wavy hair, very fair features. He's got earrings, a little black studs on either ear. He's got his popped collar, sort of jacket that he wears, and over his suit, which is just an egregious thing to do. And he looks like he should be the intern here. He looks like the youngest out of everyone in this entire situation. He makes his way over.
So he's Jeremy's role model. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. He is the young business entrepreneur. The my dad paid for everything character. As you know, Danny Schmidt, owner of the Schmidt Boon delivery service, is the childer of let me just get their proper name for you. The childer of Walter Schmidt, who made the Boon delivery system for the Prince Helen Panhard of New York, and has been making it a lucrative business, as Boons are an important part of the Camarilla system, and the word of a vampire, of a kindred, is very important these nights. Making it a lucrative business to make money, not just for themselves, but for Helen as well to use for their princedom. Mr. Schmidt really hit on a market that had been tapped into before. And since Walter has been gone, who knows where, sudden disappearance after a few battles in New York between the Camarilla, the Sabbat, and the Anarchs, finding themselves in the middle of everything, Danny has stepped up as the childer of Walter. So is quite literally the son who inherits the entire business of the father figure and has no idea what he's doing. He makes his way over. I'll also explain the business model that our characters are aware of is you're all harpies. Under the Herald, which is Danny in this case, dealing and moving boons through New York City and throughout the world as well, through word of mouth, through passengers, through telling others and moving them along. And you get paid in your services through money, through boons of your own, through blood, safety, protection from by the prince, etc. But you have a lot of difficult work with the fall of Shreknet, the Nosferatu. You can no longer use technology for these boons being delivered. So everything must be word of mouth or some sort of written down, heavily warded letters and such. But who in the Camarilla really follows all the rules? Danny makes his way over towards this group of interns, claps his hands together, says, "Hello, welcome to the Schmidt Corporation, Schmidt Boon Delivery Office. My name is Danny Schmidt. I'm the owner of the business." He comes around, shakes everyone's hand. Jeremy, he shakes yours. He does a. Do they have a bro shake? Do they shake and like bump chests and like pat each other on the back and like?
I think Jeremy exclusively fist bumps people. I don't think he's ever shook a hand in his life. I don't know if he knows it exists.
There's this moment
in a sense.
As Danny goes to shake the hand, the fist comes out. He grabs the fist quickly. Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. Yeah, love your energy. Gives you sort of a knowing, like, I already know you. You're already in. Like, we're already bros. Look, and takes these figures through up the elevator, explaining the history of the Schmidt Corporation, which is really short and really not that interesting. And until they bring the figures into the office by the blood cooler, and you all see these figures come in. You see Ginny, who has a short blonde bob, about 27 years old appearance. She's wearing a very white cream suit with sort of a pink shirt underneath. And you see he introduces Rufus, who is the dark jacketed man in jeans with the sort of graying beard and very disheveled look. He then introduces Ella, or Elle, who is, he introduces them just by their names, not by their clans. Ella L, who is a, sort of approximately 40-year-old with sort of long, dark black hair, still breathing, even though they know they don't need to, very deeply, nice and slowly. You can see them forcefully exhaling, trying to keep themselves calm throughout this entire situation, it seems. And Danny simply says, "This is Ginny, this is Rufus, this is Elle, this is Jeremy, Luis, Sunrise, Imogene. These are our interns that we're going to be having today. If you'd like, in about, say, 10 minutes, we're going to have a meeting in the boardroom." He gestures just off to the left. There's his office straight on his left, immediately from the entrance. And then just next to that, there's a boardroom that looks out across the city. In about 10 minutes, we'll have a meeting in there, and I'll explain everything that's going on. And I have a job for every one of you that you can perhaps show our interns how everything works, how our business models happen. And I can take care of the office while you're gone. But talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I get everything ready. He steps into his office, slams the door, and you can see him look out at each one of you. And if he catches one of your eyes, he gives a calm smile, and then the shutters quickly close over so that he can't be seen. And
Is that normal behavior for Danny?
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm a tiny bit just by the way it's been set up. Have I met the rest of this group yet? Or is this our first meeting?
This is your first meeting with these people.
Except for
Okay.
you saw my character at a bar singing karaoke one time.
Sure.
He
doesn't
you try to hit
remember
on
you, it's
her.
fine.
It's very likely that Danny has already met Jeremy and brought Jeremy into the office previously, probably a few times before, if you feel that's appropriate. But these other interns, brand new.
All right. Hi. Welcome to the Boon office. Why don't you all introduce yourselves? You already got our names, we got yours, but like, Clan, tell us a little about yourself so we know what we're dealing with.
Ginny, being the talkative one, sort of steps up and says, "Oh, it's lovely."
I'm gonna stop you right there. Jeremy is going to immediately walk forward, wanting to be the center of attention at all moments. Haas, Jeremy Haas. What's up?
Wow. Hello, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, huh? You know, like work and shit, you know? It's like whatever. And he like takes the mug out again and starts drinking it into you with it being readable. You know?
Did you
Louis
get
got
that
none of that.
and let other
Got
people
absolutely none of that.
Did you get that at Spirit of Halloween, Jeremy? Or Spirit Halloween?
He goes as red as he possibly can, being undead, with the implication that you all might think that he might have made it himself, as he sort of shies away, starts looking at his phone.
Oh gosh, that's so precious.
You just hear
Imogene is trying very hard to not grab that phone out of his hand right now. I mean, she really wants to. No technology in the office.
Ginny.
As I put my own phone away.
Yeah.
Luis with the two phones in his pocket that he hasn't taken out.
Ginny steps forward and says, wow. I'm Ginny, child of Malkav. It's lovely to meet you all. She holds out her hand.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh, I don't
Like,
I don't touch other kindred. That's just a rule for me.
No, that's
But
completely
so
fine. No touching. Mm-hmm.
Safety, crazy things can happen, but it's so good to meet you, Jimmy.
It's lovely to meet you too.
Damn, she's freaking hot, bruh.
She pauses. Oh, go ahead.
the actual child of Malkov or a child descendant of Malkov?
Oh no, descendant. Sorry,
Okay. Just checking.
Malkavian.
Mhm.
I don't know what generation, but child of Malkav.
I can help you with that if need be.
Are you part of HR?
Yes.
Oh, lovely. It's so good to have blood sorcerers as part of HR. I would love that. If I could book you in as soon as possible.
Yes. Probably after the meeting, I can.
Right, the meeting. Yes, silly me. I'm getting too excited. It's like I already feel like I belong here. It's like I'm already part of the. Rufus sort of steps forward, just says Rufus, and takes a big swig out of their new beer bottle that they've acquired, and pulled out of their pocket. They actually you see them put their thumb underneath the cap and just flick it off. It was not a twist, and it just
Ugh.
flies off and hits the ground beneath the blood cooler. Remains there. L.
I just stare at it.
Mm. L doesn't speak, so Ginny has to. And this is L. Awesome. There was supposed to be, and you've already met Jeremy. There was supposed to be another, but I guess they didn't make it. Oh well.
That's I'm interesting. So what brought all of you to the Boon office? I'm not Southern, I shouldn't say y'all. So
Yeah. Whoever wants to start. I imagine Ginny goes to speak and be like, well, I've always wanted to look for a, and then Jeremy. Would Jeremy interrupt again?
I think Jeremy, even though he would have been on his phone at this point, just sort of staring at it in boredom and also a slight embarrassment from before. Though he generally keeps that kind of under locks. He'll just be really confused at what y'all are talking about. Other than you mentioned Harpy, which he thinks is his new frat. So he's just gonna he might stand forward and maybe not stand forward, but maybe sort of like if he's next to the wall, he'll put his arm up against the wall and he'll sort of lean on it and be like,
Yeah, like me and Donnie like go back quite a ways, Me and him are friggin' bros.
that explains so much and also nothing at the same time. And I love it. I love it. Keep that up. You're a natural.
friggin'. You just say the word friggin'.
Okay. So we have someone who I was like, so we have someone who knows Danny, and the others proceed.
Ginny simply says, I just applied and got through the processes as one does. That's
good.
Yeah. She turns. Rufus just gives a big shrug, and Al doesn't speak at all. Ginny turns back and says, I guess they also did the same process of going through everything. So, I mean, maybe we're all just really hard workers, and maybe this is the right place for us. And, I really like the feeling and the community here and everything. It's really great. I really love it. And at this point, Danny steps out of the office, says, any last words with each other? Otherwise, we will be having our meeting shortly. He goes towards the door and says, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Steps out of the way. After you. Nobody passes by him, and then he goes into the room and begins to set up for the meeting.
What was that? Is no one gonna say something? Okay, I'll say something. What? Is there someone else here?
It's somebody you can't see.
It's rude to be invisible in the office space.
Yes. Please treat this like Elysium and no powers.
I have pamphlets that talk about office decorum. I had them prepared. So
Ginny excitedly nods, takes a pamphlet, and starts reading
there you go, Jenny. Yep.
We can freaking go invisible.
Yes.
certain clans can, Jeremy.
Fuck, bruh. I need to get me some of that.
I
Typically frowned upon, but I think you can at some point be
I guess
beholden
for-
to somebody else.
I guess before the
You'll
meeting
flex for the
starts,
first time.
I shall introduce myself.
Oh, right.
My name is Luis Estrada. I am the accountant in this company. If any of you are interested in the accounting portion of this, then I suppose you will go with me.
Louise is very professional.
Elle does not speak, but walks over and stands next to Louise, like almost like a bodyguard or like a personal assistant standing next to. She's quite a bit shorter than Louise, and just stands, holds the book under their arm, and just looks at everybody else, and does not
Oh.
speak.
Well, I am Imogene Grady, HR. I can give you guidance if need be.
Sunrise Lewis. I'm a frequent field operative. I do a lot of the delivery for the Boons and things, going in between territories to, give word of mouth. And I've also been heading the transition of any of the old Shrekneck files into paper files, because ever since the La Sombra clan have been accepted and all of that, everything has had to been moved to pen and paper because of their lack of ability.
Ginny excitedly flips through the pamphlet, is about to ask any sort of questions before Danny says, "All right, that's great, that's great."
Nope.
Grabs Rufus by the shoulders, sort of gives him a massage, being like, "Come on in, big fella. Let's get you in. Get you seated." Pushes him down onto the chair. Okay, all right. And just waits for everybody to come in and take a seat whenever you're ready, unless there's any last conversation or like quiet personal conversation between the veterans of the office.
Yeah. I'm gonna just tap Jeremy on the shoulder, be like, "It's a wonderful mug. It's beautiful." So just to let you know.
Thanks. What were you saying about like Shrek the movie and shit? Like what?
Oh no, it's called ShrekNet. It was a computer program,
Shrek
and
Net. Is it Shrek the website?
no, that's a different thing. I can send you some links.
Oh.
It's on the download.
Oh.
But no, it was a
Okay.
collection of like information for people to be able to go online, figure out about, stuff about our kind. It helps
Oh.
weed out the information so we're not having the same, "You're a vampire now. This is what you do. This is your purpose within the ivory tower. Be useful or be dead." That kind of usual stuff.
I don't like computers. Like I'll be honest.
Oh, that's okay. It's not for everybody.
Just tenders. Yeah. He holds his phone up.
It's not for every.
Rapid reflexes,
okay.
grab it out of his hand.
Imogen.
I don't believe does Jeremy have celerity?
No.
No.
But again, he is strong.
Yeah.
She can't help herself. She's like, "Technology, put it away."
I'll say in this case that the speed at which Imogene moves is a bit too fast for Jeremy. As you hold up the phone, I imagine it's got some person on the front, and it's just flicked out of Jeremy's hand.
It's just a picture of Jeremy like topless.
Oh,
Like he's just.
Imogen, why'd you take his phone?
What
Please
the
put this in
fuck?
your
My
pocket.
nudes.
Put this phone on silent. Turn it off. Whatever. Please put it away.
Okay.
He takes it back and immediately
use the
opens the
bathroom.
camera app. Starts snapping selfies.
All about the rules.
I know, Imogen, it's fine. There's security in the building. Nothing that he sends is gonna get out before approval. It's fine.
Just
okay.
finally a lovely wee reminder as he brings the mug back up in plain view. Number one vampire. As you guys are having this discussion.
Luis is sort of at a loss that why there's an intern just following him like a little lost duckling. So I guess he just says, we do use Excel spreadsheet often, just so you know.
Elle nods and simply like opens up their book, has a little flick through, and has like let's make a check here actually, Luis. We'll do intelligence occult on this particular. Actually, no, sorry. Your intelligence finance with your specialty in accounting. Please make that roll in this particular case. We'll see how that works for you here.
Okay. Okay, that's 6 successes.
6 successes. Looking at this particular blood sorcery that Elle has created, it's actually quite marvelous what she's created. She has essentially turned these wards and these particular blood sorceries into its own living spreadsheet. She has created the path of finance in this Tremere thaumaturgy. And as she sort of waves her hand along it, all the numbers change and flicker their way through. It is technology without using technology.
In his mind, he goes, "Oh my God, she's a math magician."
Yes. Yeah.
And she was like, it's fascinating to him, but also a little sad. Like, like, but it's obvious, like, through the way that she's like, looking through her semblance, it's obvious that she's Tremere, right?
The way that she uses more geometric symbols, and you're very familiar with a lot of the ways that your blood sorcery looks different to any other types of blood sorcery. Definitely Tremere in the way that they perform these.
In his mind, he's going like, "God damn it, she better not be a narc." In his mind, but that's just sort of going through.
Elle, like a little duckling, follows Louise into the office and sits at the same time as Louise sits down. Elle sits down at the same time. Has that sort of blank, vacant stare. And I imagine as our characters make their way into the office, into this boardroom area, how do we? There's 3 rows of 5 sets of chairs, as there used to be, up to 15 people in the office, and it seems now there's not as many as you would think. There's only 7, with all the new interns coming in. Less than half.
So if there's not enough, like,
front row center, great. Sunrise, yep. And Louise?
I think he'll try and like just go where Sunrise goes a little bit, just because he was like, oh, I guess we're like, since we're official workers, we're all like sort of segregated to this sort of area, and then all of the other interns are going to just be sitting at another space.
Great. So Sunrise would be probably on the right hand side, facing towards the chairs, the right hand side, as I imagine Sunrise might know that Danny is more naturally inclined to look on the right side of the room.
Yes.
Imogene, where does
Correct.
Imogene sit?
Imogene also sits on the right side of the room, but
Excellent.
at the opposite head of the table,
Mm.
where Danny is seated at the other head. She's
Mm.
kind of sit at the back end.
Mm. And where does Jeremy sit?
Jeremy is not only going to sit in the back left corner of the room, but he's also going to take 2 chairs. He's going to take the chair in front of him, turn it around, and put his feet up as he sits back in the back of the corner of the room. And I'm gonna comment on some stuff I was talking about in chat. But at this point, I think everyone would notice how incredibly dirty and muddy his shoes are as he puts his feet up in view of everyone.
There's a slop, or there's like a flick, like someone using a paintbrush to flick paint onto a canvas of mud that just flicks against this beautiful wood and steel. It's like a wooden back and wooden base that sort of loops together for that great back support, and then the steel legs sort of connected on themselves that flicks across this beautiful wooden chair itself. As Danny sits down in his, he's got a revolving rolling chair, a nice black office one that he sits in backwards, so that his front, the back is like around his front. He sort of wraps his hands around it and says, "No, this isn't going to do. I can't do it like this anymore." He stands up. He shuffles the chairs around with all of you until you're sort of forming an AA like circle, and all facing each other in your own particular way. He doesn't move you, Jeremy, because of course he doesn't. And after some time, all of you are sort of sitting facing towards each other, but he has deliberately sort of the veterans, you all, are in one side of the room and the interns are in the other side. And there's empty spaces between all of you. And he begins to explain some things as he sort of sits on the chair and says, anyone notice anything different in the office today? A lot of fun things happening. Sunrise.
I mean, I did notice there were less people. I mean, did they get laid off? Or did something
They
happen?
We've had some interesting news from upstairs from the big P. Let's know. Hell, no, we don't use their names. The prince. The prince has some things have happened as of late, and there is. He stands up and he draws like lines, like a bunch of straight lines in a row with little gaps in between them. He's trying to say something, and then he draws the base and says, I struggle to say this word, so I'm going to write it up. I'm going to make it fun because this is supposed to be fun, isn't it? Right? So we're going to play a little hangman. And I'm going to get everybody to make a roll to play hangman and get this particular
So
word.
funny.
I will get, unless you want to manipulate it in a certain way, the general roll will be wits academics. If you want to try a different way of getting the words out of Danny, you're more than welcome to do so. Have a think, have a discussion as well, out of character.
Manipulation and intimidation.
Yeah, great. Please roll manipulation, intimidation to just maybe just stare down Danny and get them to add some letters.
Jeremy just screams at the top of his voice with 0 successes. Zed!
just
Did you say
guessing.
10? Say the
Zed.
numbers.
3 successes to stare at Danny and be like, really?
Luis
We're
got
playing
2
hangman in the office.
successes because Luis got 2 successes, and it's just because he's just like not. He doesn't care about this game. He's just like, I don't understand.
Could
X.
I do a wits investigation or insight to try and, based on what Danny's been doing, just try to guess what letters he might be avoiding, what he try to suss it out.
Yeah, investigation if you're looking at what he's avoiding, insight if you're using his
Yeah.
general body language previously.
Okay. I'm gonna try to see what he's avoiding. So wits and then that, because workplace games are a source of friendly competition, and Sunrise loves it.
Exactly right.
Oh wait, I'm so hungry. Let's replace some of these.
I think after guessing Z and the letter X, Jeremy might pull out his phone and shoot Danny a text, being like, "Give me a hunt." Give me a hunt.
Sends you he sends you the letter I. You all see him clearly
Just like
pull out his
immediately
phone, type one thing, text, and put it away. Imogene, he spells out the full first word, because it's 2 words. The first word for you, which is down. As he looks at you and he goes, great guess, Imogene. Excellent guess. Easy. I knew you would absolutely guess this.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes, Sunrise. You can quite easily guess. Actually, Z is one of the actual letters, Jeremy, as you actually guess it correctly. And Sunrise, no matter what you say, Danny's like, yes, and puts down a one of either like,
letter?
even if it was wrong, he goes, yes, and then puts down one of the letters, regardless of what you say. So he clearly has quite the trust with you in the office, being one of the favorites. And Luis, you look over and Elle has already written the answer before anyone starts talking, and is like is showing it to you in the book, and then closes it and puts it back underneath.
What is it? What's the
The answer is downsizing. And as he wraps up the words, I should say, that he cannot say, he points to it and says, "This thing. Is there a different way I can say
Capricorn."
this?"
Just still guessing.
Ooh, restructuring.
Going
in a different direction.
You can see he's like having a gag reflex to these words.
Oh. Do you need a
I
bucket?
think finally Luis just says downsizing.
Imogene goes, what did the prince tell you, Danny?
I also have some amazing suggestions on some people that we could easily get rid of that I think would help in this situation. In fact, I have a binder I think I could find.
I think we've already gotten rid of those people.
Jokes on some like on like
Sunrise,
that
I
he
think
had,
those
like,
people
come.
are already gone.
I'm
Yeah, but
afraid.
Gary in IT is an asshole, and I mean difficult to work with.
Gary's already gone.
Yes. Oh, I mean, I'm so sad. Sorry.
So is Genevieve and Live, and Danger, our receptionist, is gone as well. There has been down this word. And we're pretty under the pump because of that. There have been talks between all the Boon offices, Boon businesses. We're not the only one that do this, apparently. And so, we're going to be continuing this thing over the next few weeks. And just so you know, if we're looking at great reports. We're looking for great reports from everybody. Some great things. Still points at the word again. Still doing the thing. Everybody's jobs are on the line here. Anyway, quickly takes out one of the whiteboard erasers, just goes one strike all the way through it, almost like to banish it from his vision. Puts it away. Anyway, in positive news, a bunch of new interns in today. If you haven't noticed, I thought you could. Well, you've already made introductions with each other, but we have a job today for all of you, and well, if you could bring the interns along and show them how all this works, how we deliver a boon to these people, and how we deal with the problems along the way, and run them through everything. Make sure they're all prepared in the worst case of anything happening.
To who? Any anything happening? In what regard? As in they replace us or no?
Danny just says, well, like I said, if there are this thing is still going on, and I mean, replacement is it is a possibility. I personally will be speaking with the prince a lot over the coming weeks, and I have my favorites. Frankly, I have my favorite. The fact that you are all still here is huge. It means you are the hardest workers. You're the most important keys and cogs in this family here at the office. And I would rather greet the sun than let any of you go, frankly, because I love you all so much. I haven't forgotten that surprise party that you threw me last year. I still... He starts to get a little choked up about it. I still, no one's ever done that for me, and that's really, that's really something. and anyway, whew,
Gonna make me start crying. Oh my god.
So today's job, is well, you're going to be finding a Camarilla Bruja by the name of Penelope. She is by the 42nd. It's that lovely bar that we always love to go to, and letting them know that their sigh is gone. They've carked it. They had a rough time, and now they're gone. The circumstances don't matter. And basically, Penelope is now the Owa of the boons of the Sire, as is the way that it goes. Very simple. Just need to deliver that message that Penelope must now pay back certain figures, certain Primogen figures, their boons as soon as possible. You'll find them by the 42nd. You can't miss them. They have a purple streak in their white hair. Just don't... I shouldn't say this, but you know how... No, I can't say that. People will... Just don't get them angry, okay? And it's a lovely bar. We always like to be there. So if the place could stay together, that'd be great. That would be wonderful. Any questions about any of this?
No, Danny, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. And honestly, this is just a blip. Nothing bad will happen to us.
I knew I could count on you, Sunrise. Always
Of course.
so organized and ready. I knew it.
Mhm.
This is why I put your names on that list, and I made sure that the thing didn't happen. You're all still here, and that's what matters. These other officers can probably. I mean, the aim is to get rid of them, right? Is to get them out of the picture, and we continue our work. So let's keep going, baby. Let's keep this business running. Danny, go ahead.
It sounds like Danny wants to she's not saying this out loud, she's thinking this, that Danny would like to hire a bunch of Banu Hakim to take out the competition.
Maybe. Danny, looking still a bit ill as you sort of examine him. He looks like he's going to cry vomit, which is a very strange combination. Just goes, best of luck, and dashes his way out of the room, takes a left and goes straight down the hallway towards the bathroom.
This nepotism baby really did just dump these interns on us, did he?
I really was not planning on training the interns personally. And I kind of want to know what Danny did to fuck this all up.
Ginny looks towards all of you and says, well, I hope this will be a lot of fun for all of us. I know it will. And I'm very eager to see how you help us through all of this. I'm just sad that the other one couldn't be here today.
Oh, they're here.
What?
They're here somewhere.
They're probably
You didn't catch Danny look at the air and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, and then let them in.
Oh, I thought that was just a thing.
No.
Oh.
I can't see them, but Danny never talks to the thin air like that.
Can
So-
any of you
I
see?
can't. Nope.
I chose heightened senses instead of.
Oh no.
So unfortunately,
Jeremy, by pure accident, will, as he's been taking selfies this entire time and not been paying attention, he will accidentally flip the camera to the forward facing and snap a photo.
Jeremy.
As you do so and snap the photo approximately where the person should be sitting or should be standing, there is just a beautiful, heavily filtered shot of the chair and the space around it. Something quite Instagram worthy, but nothing in it.
He'll think
Well,
nothing of it then.
All right,
Anyway.
everyone. Great, Jenny. Thank you so much for the words of encouragement. Normally I do that, so I really appreciate your initiative. But if you could just take it down a notch, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
So, no more talking. It's okay. So everyone, let's assess our new skills for those interns that came in so that we can properly go about this new job. Be doing everything exactly like we used to, except 110% more and better because our lives are on the line. Our livelihoods are on the line. And if we can't do this job, what is the point of our existence? I like to think I'm a very agreeable person. I think that everyone working together is just the best way to go about things. I don't need to be in charge at all. I don't need to be, everyone has this typical view of Ventruse, but I am very easygoing. And honestly, I don't raise my voice ever. I'm very genteel.
One day, Sunrise is going to snap. When that happens, I have a plan B.
So anyway, continuing on. Brujas. I know it's not correct to say that they have a temper, but she will likely try to punch us in the face. They always go for the face or still the genitals, even though those don't work the same way anymore. So be warned, that is likely going to happen. So let's do some skill assessments. as I click my pen and just wait for the interns to list what their biggest strengths and weaknesses are so we can coordinate properly.
Ginny begins to go through their entire resume again, which is completely useless to you in this particular circumstance. It is, I can do financial things, I can deliver things quite well. I'm very good at walking. I have a lot of hobbies in painting and
Luis will like cut her off and say disciplines.
Well, I'm really good at telling people what to do.
Great. Okay.
Rufus, the disheveled, still drinking on their third beer bottle at this point, and is just leaving the bottles around, much to your upset Sunrise, just grunts again. So, licks his lips and drinks the next beer.
Can anyone translate?
With Luis's experience with Gangrel, can he tell if he's a Gangrel or not?
Interesting. Let's have a intelligence politics. If you have a specialty in clan politics, it would be relevant here. Or any sort of Gangrel politics, etc. Or Camarilla politics.
Unfortunately, no.
That's
but
okay.
I'll just do intelligence. See if I can. Actually, no, it's these two. 3.
With a 3, what you can figure out with a 3 is they are not Gangrel. Usually, Gangrel would have a lot of signs. If you're looking for the stereotypes, you would see the dirt under the fingernails, the smell of some sort of animal, the more wild-looking appearance. All of these things are not here. This particular person, they're clearly not a Gangrel. You're not quite sure what they are, honestly.
It's because they haven't like spoken really, or
yeah, they haven't really interacted.
Because they're just grunting and stuff. So because you know how the Gangrel.
Yeah, their compulsion, the Gangrel clan compulsion, is that they can barely speak when they are in the thralls of certain frenzies, certain compulsions. It's been too long for that to be the case. You know, Gangrel eventually get themselves together and can speak normally, but it appears that Rufus just talks like this. This is their way of communicating. So they could be anything, really. You do know, Luis, that L is a Tremere.
I guess you'll turn to her and just say, "Well, I know which clan you belong to, my dear."
L meets your gaze, slow nods, and looks back towards the rest of the group.
All right, this has been incredibly unhelpful, but you know, always a silver lining when you're assessing a problem. My suggestion would be to start out with diplomacy, because violence can always follow diplomacy, but rarely works the other way around. So anyone want to take lead on that? Wow, the silence is encouraging. I thank you for your trust in me. I will humbly take that position. Don't worry. Okay, that's great.
Okay. Always need the help, but I'm here to help.
I will help you with the professional aspects if you need.
Thank you. I would be nothing without the two of you and the rest of you, but specifically Imogen and Louise. I very much appreciate it. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, is there anything...
Before we leave,
yes,
Jeremy, you stink. You need to go take a shower.
Oh.
You just look really upset.
I look very upset. I'm just like, she's like, first makes people, she's a stickler for the traditions, even the recent ones are no technology, unless it's like a computer not attached to the internet, and that's what there is there. But she's like, Jeremy, take a shower before we go out, lest you scare the other kind around us.
That's like a new tech to get me in bed, but like I'm totally with it.
And he'll like immediately get up thinking that this is an opportunity to sleep with Imogen and run for the door.
Yeah, there's an office shower. She like tells him where to go. Let's see if he's, goes finds the shower. So. Anybody else needs to take a shower before we leave? You could do that after Jeremy.
Everybody, I imagine Jeremy takes a very long, alone shower.
He'll take an alone shower,
Yeah.
but he'll also leave the door open a crack because he thinks Imogen will join him. And so
there's just water
he's
vapor now flooding the hallway.
all the windows are fogging up inside the office.
He's consciously taking a shower, but also posing just in case.
He's taking his clothes and like replace them with some of the office wardrobe that has been donated over the years. Pants that are too short. A cut-off shirt.
The shirts are too tight. That kind of stuff.
Yep.
Is there any other little talks or scenes our character, or anything our characters specifically do before they leave, like grabbing certain things or turning things off, turning things on, talking to people, etc.?
I think Luis will stop by his office real quick and basically put in the bottom drawer his suitcase, which inside his suitcase has just a plastic bag full of cash from the previous night that he just puts inside his desk and locks.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Any other little scenes or that we see our characters do?
He's going to actually check his other phone now that he's in his office.
137
because now that there is like this tiny Tremere lady who is following him around, he's like, okay, I better, what's going on?
Elle doesn't look at anything you do, and if you close the door without her being able to get inside, she just stands at the door, like looking at it, almost like trying to look through it at you. Your phone has 137 missed calls on it.
Sorry, I don't know what that sound was.
Just to, yeah.
Who are they from?
You know who they're from.
I know who they're from.
You know who they're from.
All of them?
Every single one.
At this point, I would think he would have thought this wasn't my number. He just looks at it exasperated, and then just tries to look and see if there was any calls from any local chantry.
A lot of blocked numbers.
A lot of blocked numbers.
Not as many as the other calls. There's probably only 2, I would say. Make a check. Let's have a intelligence investigation with a deduction specialty if you have it.
Just do investigation.
Sure.
I mean intelligence, because that's all I have. 2.
2. Perfect. Difficulty 2. You coincide. Louise is a very smart person, doing finance, very intelligent. You can figure out that the calls happened as soon as the interns arrived and as soon as you got into your office here. And you look up, you see Elle just looking at you through the front, the sort of glassy door to your office, just looking. It's glazed over so you can't quite see them properly and they can't see you properly. It's got that sort of in and out sheen that makes it sort of warped and fuzzy, but you can see that she is on the other end, just standing there stoically, staring through.
And under like, nah, not even under his breath because she may be able to hear him. In his head, he's going, they've just gotten creepier. They've just gotten creepier. So, and then he just puts his phone out, and then locks his bottom drawer. But he doesn't notice, but there is like some of the plastic bag that is sticking out from the
Okay,
desk.
duly noted.
Yeah.
Are there any other small little scenes? Or please, Imogen.
Actually, as Jeremy's taking a shower, she steps in while he's taking a shower. Not in the shower, but steps in the area where his shower is, grabs his clothes and replaces them with the clothes, and goes, "You have clothes here for you now," and then leaves. This time shutting the door and turning on the fan.
This mechanical whir begins as it starts taking the vapor up out of the shower area and out of the office area, starting to clean everything nicely.
Frick.
This is as close as Jeremy will get to Imogen not quite seeing him naked. But I suppose if she wanted him to do that, he could have stepped out the moment that she walked in. But Silence of Death was on, so.
It's like a ghost.
He's
like
not
a,
very perceptive.
It's like a disembodied voice. Can't hear you enter, can't hear you do all these things, and then you speak, and then can't even hear you leave. Silence of Death is incredible power that the Banu Hakim use frequently to make their way
She's
through.
spooky.
Very
She
spooky.
do be spooky.
She also goes to her desk and gets out a leather satchel that she carries with her that has things that her sire gave her, which include stakes and things that she may or may not need on this Boon retrieval mission.
Better to be.
She'd rather not do it, but she has them just in case.
Better to be prepared. Better to have it
Yeah.
and not need it than to need it and not have it. After all. Excellent. In that case, unless there's one more little scene someone would like to do or one little extra thing. Otherwise, yeah, please, Jeremy.
Just on his way out, I presume because he's not very punctual. He's quite truant. He might on his way out, getting dressed in this tight clothing, he might walk past Danny's office, and he might have a little peer in if possible, and he might see something that he wants. And he will open the door. Is Danny in there?
Danny is not. Danny's still in the bathroom. Been there for a while. Probably will be there for a while.
He will, in that case, open the door and either yoink it off a sort of display if it's on display, or if it's just like sat up against something, he'll just yoink it, and it will be a metal baseball bat. He will keep that with him because he is going out.
It is absolutely on display, and it's probably signed by some baseball team that Danny visited a long time ago that he is a fan of, and something very special. And Jeremy now has this signed, brilliant metal baseball bat that has these wonderful stickers all across it as well. These wonderful reds and whites and blacks and blues all across. And as our characters all leave, they are greeted with probably a limo, because Danny spends company money like it's going out of fashion. Organizes a limo for all of you to take you wherever you like, also to fit everybody, including the interns, inside the vehicle. And as we all sidle in, I think we'll take this opportunity to just take a little break halfway through our story. Thank you so much for joining us so far. Let's see how our characters deal with what happens next in about 7 to 10 minutes. We'll see you in just a moment. welcome back from the break. Hope you all had a lovely break, getting some water, some food, and such, like we were, and making sure we're all okay for the rest of the game. Let us cut back to inside the limousine, where all of our characters can fit in and take different seats around the area. Jeremy, there is a mini fridge in here, of course. If you wish to take access to any of that, there is a variety of for all of
dips.
you. There are blood
Instant
bags.
dips.
There are champagne and such. If you can eat food or drink and such, and you also spread yourselves out around this limousine. Is there any sort of discussion, or are we all just making our way towards the 42nd?
Sounds like we're just making our way. I do want to get, if I can get a read on, is it Lucius or Rupert? I do not know his name.
It's Rufus.
Rufus. I was wrong on
Rufus.
both accounts.
That's fine.
Yeah, but you got
I'm
half of it
picturing-
right on both.
Mhm.
I'm picturing Rufus as George Carlin from the Bill and Ted movies. I'm probably a little older I know I'm a little older than you, but that is how I picture Rufus.
No, I think that's very accurate, frankly. I agree.
Yeah, I want to get a read on him. Like,
Yeah.
is he physically imposing? Does like try to get a read on his body language, what he might be possibly good at, or is he just gonna sit in the car and drink beer? Which is okay. It's just not what I need right now.
Does Louise help with this? You guys are sort of all four of you, Jeremy included, because Jeremy's been around the office a couple of times.
I'll help
the
with this.
veterans.
Okay, I'd be like, oh, Louise, what the fuck is his deal? I don't understand.
Because
He's been drinking beer all night. What?
I say I don't think it's beer. I think it's just a beer can and a beer bottle.
That's a lot of
Can you-
effort.
He's
you
not
sniff?
he's not a gangrel.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
I'm
That
not
was
quite
gonna
sure
be-
what he is just yet.
I say this because Louise, you've already figured out this. You've already made the check to sort of suss them out a little bit. So this will be your assistance. So make a wits and insight. Actually, no,
Okay.
sorry. Are you checking out the bottles? Or you're sussing out Rufus?
I'm sussing out Rufus, not the
Yeah.
bottles.
Okay. Wits and insight, please.
Okay.
You
It
can
is-
add an extra dice for
Okay.
Luis's assistance.
Cool. So that's all hunger dice and then one normal dice because I have not snacked yet.
There's blood bags.
I can't eat a blood bag.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Mm.
No.
yeah.
Took 2 cups full of blood.
That's one success.
One success. Can you make a hunger frenzy check for me?
Yeah,
Oof.
I can. Okay, so that's just my
Oof.
willpower.
It's your remaining willpower. If you spend any of
Okay.
it lowers it.
I have not spent any of it, but my willpower is a number.
It is a, it is a number. Let's find out. I need
Okay.
this is a difficulty 4 roll.
Okay.
You wake up.
One.
No way.
One success. So
No, not a single way I passed.
now you have the choice here. You can well, technically, I'll offer it to you afterwards because I didn't offer it to you before you made the roll, which is my
Mhm.
mistake. You can choose to ride the wave, which is go with the flow, and you get to choose how this is controlled, or I, the beast, choose how this is controlled. Now, I will let you know, whatever
Mhm.
Rufus is drinking is fucking delicious smelling, and you now get aware of it. You get a whiff as he opens a new bottle. Whatever it is, you need it.
Yeah, I think. Okay. So yeah, I think this is something that Sunrises willing to do? I think I am going to like reach across the like fully just lean across the way to the other side as he's cracked open the bottle. I'm gonna not saying a fucking word, but just have that too bright, too tight lip smile thing showing as I activate Daunt and try to take the can from him.
Let's make manipulation, intimidation, and add your presence
Okay.
rating to this roll.
Alrighty. So let's just put the hunger dice just right out there because that's all that is. Most of that. So intimidation. And I have a specialty because of my hunting type, which is coercion. Would you say that this would qualify?
Yes.
It's silent, but it's just that yeah.
Absolutely. You are
Physical
trying
coercion.
to intimidate and coerce this thing out of him. I would absolutely allow it. Yes.
Okay. Amazing. So let's see what this will bring us.
All of you witness this. Ginny is talking again and sort of quietens as Sunrise sort of approaches Rufus and watches carefully.
That's a messy crit. But so in total it's 4 5, so it's 6 total, but it's a messy crit to make that total.
Huge. Now you are going to be under the ventru compulsion for the next scene coming up to the 42nd, meaning that the beast is quite upset that you haven't let it out, that you haven't taken that you haven't given it the reins, that it hasn't controlled the situation, and now you're letting yourself loose in this unventru way. For the next scene, the beast, it becomes oppressive over you, almost inhabits your throat, your mouth, your brain. You must do your best to command someone to do something that you say without using the use of disciplines. In this next scene, everything else not towards that takes a 2 dice penalty, as you must rule in this moment.
It happened a lot sooner than I expected.
What happens here with a messy critical, Sunrise, is you glare. There's this sheen behind your eyes that we see from Rufus's perspective. That is the sheen of a predator. It is the lion's yellow eyes when the sunlight, when the torches flash on them. It is clearly you are some supernatural creature in this moment. Rufus pauses. He is frozen in fear, and Ginny even, like, as Daunt flies up, she averts her gaze. Elle continues to look onwards, not even looking at you in the first place. A lot of you might be affected by this, depending on how high your willpower is, as Sunrise dominates this entire space, eyes averting, and Rufus looks down in a way. Sunrise, the beast snatches the bottle and just takes a big drink, one gulp of this bloody drink inside of this beer bottle. It appears they've been personally sealed. You take... How much do you take? I think, no, the beast will decide. You'll take as much as you can. You will chug this entire bloody bottle all the way down, this thick, viscous blood. And you'll go down to hunger 1, actually. It doesn't matter your blood potency because of this particular concoction. And as you drink it down, it fills your veins to the brim. And something flies through you. It felt good to take what you wanted, but something about the blood ignites this primal testiness, this rage that starts to slowly build in you, and you start to tick unconsciously. Maybe you start to tap your foot. You start to every little Elle's breathing a little bit too loud. You can feel yourself very close to anger in a lot of moments. So because you've taken 3 points, I believe it is, of
Yeah, because I was
blood,
at 4.
you have a -3 dice penalty to Fury Frenzy rolls until you remove this blood from your system.
This is a perfect situation. Yes.
And you sit back, tapping in your own particular way, and the limousine is silent.
Uh,
Ginny doesn't talk for once.
This
I
blood, this blood sounds like it's elder blood. The way that it
no, I
satiated
think
everything.
it's werewolf blood.
Well, that too is also another one.
Because doesn't that one give you rage as well?
Lupine
That
blood
one makes you, like-
does.
It kind of does, and it also makes you tweak out.
Is a dangerous
So.
concoction that increases the difficulty of your frenzies. Sorry, increase the difficulty to resist frenzy entirely. So all of your frenzy rolls
All
actually
frenzies. All right.
are at a penalty of 3 dice for the next
Mhm.
until you remove this blood from your system.
Mhm.
Okay. I think Luis will try and calm down the situation, saying, I apologize. It seems we're all in it seems we're all a bit tense right now. When we stop, maybe we can all get something to eat if that suits everybody.
I'm freaking good, bro.
Just snapping stuffies.
As
Luis just kind of gives like a very temporary glass of just of just like shut up, Jeremy.
very poignant glare. It's I imagine actually it would be very similar to the one Elle is actually giving as well. So you both almost look identical with this almost Tremere glance that you're both like at the same time.
Yeah, very.
The limousine comes to a stop outside the 42nd. And you're greeted to the sounds of screaming. The building lights are off. There is people running down the street. There is chaos. There are people bleeding out the front. Something has clearly happened here at the 42nd, at one of the favorite places of our prince to visit, actually. The interns sort of all look to each of you with wide eyes. This is
Yeah,
all.
immediately tried to
Go ahead.
You're still describing the scene. You go for it.
And Ginny looks carefully at Sunrise and looks back to Imogene instead to talk to. This is all like a big test, right? This has all been set up by you guys. I'm very excited to
No.
show. Oh,
I'm afraid not, my dear.
oh.
If you wish to stay in the car, you may. If you wish to come with us, you may as well.
No, I'll come. No, this is the job. This is how we do it. Let's do it.
Yep.
Jeremy.
Jeremy will step out of the limousine and immediately go, "It's a freaking rave!"
Yeah,
Throw
go run
Pope
in
the
there,
air.
Jeremy. Go get them.
There is.
You know what? He will. He runs in.
Great. Jeremy bursts through the front door, greeted with cracked and glow sticks. Like their goo is like all over the floors, the wall. There are blood splatters up against the wall. There are bodies twisted, damaged in all the booths. So it's a very tight bar. It's only two stories. There is the single sort of cocktail bar downstairs. On the left-hand side, there's a bar that hugs very closely to the wall where people would usually stand, where there's a lot of shattered glass. On the right-hand side are these wonderful white cushiony leather booths that have wooden tables in the middle where you sit and talk to your friends over some cocktails. And just above your head is the vibrating floor of the dance floor above, which is probably only about the same size. You can stand two abreast here in this particular hallway, and it leads to the staircase that goes upstairs. And the sound of thumping club music vibrates the floor above your head. This is a massacre, whatever happened inside here.
Jeremy's just vibing. He
Um,
immediately starts pumping along to the beat as he continues in.
As people are
There-
sort of running out, Luis will just sort of remind the interns. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry if I've interrupted you.
No,
Uh,
you go ahead. I'm again, I express to show that I'm like engaged. So I gotta.
I'm the same. I have the same problem. He just says, remember, this is potentially we might be walking into a potential masquerade breach. So everyone remember yourselves.
I'm
On
gonna,
that. Oh,
sorry. As I get out and I can catch somebody that's running away screaming.
it's gonna be the same thing. Go ahead.
Are you doing the same thing? Okay, we're both
Yeah.
doing
Work
the same
together,
thing.
you can help each other.
Yeah.
She can't. I do it first, and then she can help. She can follow me doing
Mhm,
that because I
great.
don't take help.
What is Imogene doing with this person who is attempting to flee the scene?
Let's see. Do I have anything that will calm them down? No, I know I don't have anything that will calm them down. Don't think I do.
You
I
wouldn't
don't.
even.
Hang on. She's just going to be like, hey, stop, what's going on? What would you like me to roll for that? Like,
Let's have just a charisma persuasion, I think. Just a charisma persuasion. They have seen some things, so it's gonna be fairly difficult.
yeah, seen some things.
Seen some things. I'll say difficulty 4. It's a pretty tough roll to get them to stop, considering what they've seen. You haven't seen the second floor, but something messed up has happened.
4 successes.
4 successes is exactly what I was looking for. They
Well,
they
3 successes. Sorry.
Okay,
3 successes.
not quite enough.
Yeah.
They slow down in that case. You still sort of succeed. They slow down. They say, "You've got to get the hell out of here. I can't stay. I'll be killed too." And sort of slows to a jog by you, but they're continuing running. They're not stopping, but they are telling you like something messed up has happened in there.
I won't go inside. I'm carrying my leather satchel bag with me.
As
Yeah.
go
Before they
ahead.
can run, I'm just gonna I am riding on some. I'm riding on a. Don't drink other people's drinks. But yeah, I'm just gonna yank them by their t-shirt to try to get them to fully stop and bringing them fully to my attention. Just trying to get their focus, but aggressively. It's like, tell me what is going on now.
Manipulation, intimidation,
Okay.
please. In this moment, as this is more of an aggressive take.
Okay. Hunger's down to 1 now. Yay. 3 successes.
3 successes.
You know what? I'll spend a willpower.
Yeah,
I want this to go well, and I am angry enough to push through whatever trauma response they want to have.
I was going to say it's the same difficulty as previously, as
Mhm.
there's some things going on here.
Oh, okay. So that is. Oh my gosh, that's a 10, and that's a 10. So that's a crit. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 successes now.
8 success with a critical success, way more than you
Yes,
needed.
clean crit. Clean crit, by the way.
Critical.
So.
They stop. You yank them, grab them by the shoulders. There's something about your aggressive authority that makes them think you are in charge here. They stop. They breathe. They killed everyone. They walked in. They were with them, and then The things that they did, I think I'm gonna be sick. Don't, please. The police have been called. They'll be here soon. Don't go to the second floor, please.
All right. And I just yeah, say forget you saw me, just cloud memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then let them continue in their panic to run.
Yeah. Their eyes glaze
Okay.
over. They pause for a moment. They look back at the building, scream, turn, and run.
Okay. Is my clan compulsion does that abate it, or am I still
You have to
riding
you have to
that?
get someone to physically do something.
Physically do something. Got it.
To
Okay.
obey your commands. Sorry, I should have been more specific. To kneel,
Mhm.
to do something.
Okay.
You are the ruler. You command.
All right. So still on it. So I think I'm going to be a little bit more bossy with with everyone. Like, okay, we have kind coming in. We have kind authorities coming in. We will need to be out of here before that happens. And and then we're going to need someone for a masquerade breach. Like someone said it already. I don't give a fuck. Oh, I love tonight. And then I'm just going to go inside after Imogen and Jeremy.
I guess while Luis is going in, Luis is already sort of I guess texting on his work phone, basically already reporting this masquerade breach and like the proper authorities, since he is a harpy, the proper authorities on how to sort of like stall the kind police and anything that needs to be done sort of
You-
in that manner.
As harpies, you have direct connections to the sheriff and the hounds of New York, and so you are making appropriate calls. Which Danny is sending you love heart eyes emojis as he gets reports of your constant reporting in. Very impressed with the work that you do. As you step inside, again, you see this bar. You see the cocktails that have been shattered. Perhaps one that's been left over but stained with blood. On this first floor of the 42nd bar. The interns come in. Ginny gasps and averts their eyes. Rufus just looks in and then stays outside. Elle, again, glued to Luisa's side constantly. Just observe, just a clean scan of the room for just looking back towards you all.
Can I use one of my abilities here called electroception?
You certainly can. What does electroception do?
The vampire detects electric fields generated by living beings and modern technology or machinery. This allows them to see these fields even through walls, effectively adding a new sense to their arsenal, and it's a free.
You now this actually will help you learn
It's a
quite a few
resolve.
things.
It's a resolve plus blood sorcery roll if you require a roll.
Since it's free, actually, yeah, no, let's make a resolve blood sorcery roll for it to see how much you learn from this. About what's going on here. And what does Jeremy do in the meantime while this roll is happening?
I don't want to screw myself, but at the same time, he would immediately go for that dance floor, man. The thumping. He
love
wants
it.
it.
As you,
He was up there before they even entered the building.
there is blue, like it's one of those white light places where all your white and your blues and that sort of thing get really like pronounced, like become luminescent. And if any of you are wearing such things, they brighten up all of a sudden. The floor is littered with bodies here. Every single one of them dead, except for one that has been pinned to the wall upside down with the symbol that all of you are familiar with, the upside down ankh, the blade that is shaped like this reverse crucifixion upon the wall. The thumping music here quietens any voices that could hear you from outside of this room. And all these bodies are in the process of decay already. They some sort of supernatural ability has caused them to already to begin to rot away, and someone has shaped this symbol through blood sorcery with the blood of these people on the wall. Five successes. Someone, this room's electricity all off. Something has stopped it. All the electricity, all the security systems, everything like that has been shut off. Make a intelligence occult roll.
Alright.
I think Imogene as well. Make an intelligence occult roll with your specialty in blood magic as well.
Yeah, I will. Hang on a minute. So I think that adding the specialty adds another
Dice. One dice
dice. Yeah.
in that specific circumstance.
Let's see here. Intelligence. Okay, that's okay.
Just so I feel included, can I make a dancing roll?
Yes, of course.
They're gonna think
Please,
that you're the
Jeremy, make
Sabat.
a dexterity performance with your dancing specialty.
What's the difficulty again?
For this one, it's not really a set difficulty, it's a degree of success. So the amount of successes you get will determine how many you get. Louise has got 4.
5.
5, excellent. So Louise, you recognize the blood sorcery used here. I'll have to get the name of it. I cannot remember it for me. It is one from the comic book that allows you to shape signs with blood. It's a very easy.
Oh
blood
yes,
sorcery.
it's
Bloody
it's shape of the
blood
same
message
one.
or something. It's like
Yeah, it's
blood.
bloody
It's-
message is what it's called.
I think there's one called Shape the Sanguine Sacrament.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
Right.
shape the sanguine sacrament.
Yes, that is the one that
Let me
has
check what
been
that one is.
used here. That allows you to shape bloody things onto the wall. Both of you recognize that with that amount of blood sorcery, very basic blood sorcery is used here. However, the two of you sort of look at each other and recognize galvanic ruination has been used here, which is a Sabbat ritual that can be performed, which
Mhm.
removes electricity in a large area. Is by putting your blood onto a coin, flipping that coin up, and stepping on it, and it simply destroys
see.
electronics in the area.
Luis
look
is
at-
going to I guess like while Kat is talking to him, he's going to quickly text the sheriff Sabat raid.
Hmm.
Please tell me you're using an application on your, I know about them, on your phone that is a safe application.
I guess I just turn to them and say, we need to report this already, or else we might get blamed.
Well, yes, understandable,
Uh.
but as my sire likes to text as well, I just don't. They told me to use an app on my phone for safety measures. That is why I'm asking you.
I have an app.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
How many successes, Jeremy, on your dancing check? 2 successes. As you're grooving and making your way along the dance floor here, you don't trip. You move gracefully with the motion of moving over someone, and as you sort of fall down and like about to hit the floor, it's like that fall down and like catch yourself and like lift your leg and your hand and then swap those over before you make your way up. You notice through these dance moves that this is the place where the prince usually likes to come and feed. There are particular figures here that don't match up with the others in their particular way. And you would actually recognize this one figure who you don't remember the name of, but they have light white hair, and they have, now the name of it escapes me, but both of their colors of their irises are different.
Heterochromia.
Heterochromia, thank you very much, is what they have. These, you know that there are a few of these people like often here for some reason, heterochromia, people who have heterochromia gather the 42nd for some reason or another. And this seems to be targeted at those people, from what you can tell with your investigative dance.
Still vibing.
The music slaps. It's great.
Literally, as we speak, there is a frat remix of the Gummy Bear song in my ears.
Yeah.
Is there anything I could do with? I want to use a blood sorcery ritual very quickly, because if Luis has texted the sheriff to let them know that there was a bot raid that happened, that I look at this. I'm going to do something that you might not have seen. And I look at Elle. I'm like, watch and learn. I want to do truth of blood on one of the dead people, which is a ritual. It used to be a Banu Hakim ritual, but now they share it. So
I believe that extends your ability of taste for blood and allows you to learn extra
no, it
things.
doesn't. Until recently known only to Banu Hakim viziers, this ritual creates a mystic potion capable of sifting lies from truth. This ritual has power enough. The one that you're thinking of is
Blood Walk.
Blood Walk.
Yes.
Blood Walk.
Is this the
So
one
this
that?
one is
Yeah. So please explain it to me.
this 1 pint of blood from the subject. I guess they're dead. The performer of the ritual mixes their own blood with that of a subject in a vessel large enough to allow for the dipping of the finger. Instead of a regular ritual, this caster immerses their finger in the mixture and makes a resolve plus blood sorcery versus, well, they're dead, composer plus occult roll for every. Oh, they're dead. Never mind. This doesn't work.
Yeah. Is that the one that allows you to tell if they lie?
Subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Everybody's dead here.
Everybody is dead here in this
Darn.
location. You can use taste for blood.
I will use taste for blood
to figure out if, depending on who's who, you can make. Yeah, absolutely make. So taste for blood. I believe you need to make some rolls for that one.
Yeah, resolve plus blood sorcery, and if any of them are kindred blood, I have to make an extra roll.
So, taste of blood. Do resolve plus blood sorcery. It is difficulty 3.
Resolve blood sorcery. Okay, that is 5 dice.
What is Sunrise doing in this particular scene?
I'm gonna try to see if I can get the lights and stuff back on.
Okay, let's.
Ooh, I'll help her with that actually.
Great. You can add a dice. It will be an intelligence technology roll.
Okay. I'm gonna. Can I rouse the blood to increase my intelligence?
Of course you can. Absolutely, go for it.
I do get hungrier.
Ethan, please God, call me out for dancing.
No.
In character, call me out. This is weird.
Absolutely
Even for
not.
Fair, since there are these people were probably drunk, they might fulfill your.
Unless I could drain one of them, I can't go any lower than what I'm at, unfortunately.
How many successes, sorry?
Oh no, I mean.
Counting, sorry. 1.
That's right.
2,
Imogene, how many successes?
3.
Exactly what you needed. So you get to learn a few things from the people that you taste. These are all humans except for the man with the white hair and heterochromia. That is a ghoul who has someone else's blood in their system. With 3 successes, you don't identify who it is, but you know that they are ghouled by someone. And I believe the blood walk allows you to learn extra things on top of it.
Yes, and I can do the blood walk. I'm going to do it on the ghoul. Good thing they're not a kindred, because I would freak out.
Excellent.
I'd
So
have a bad day.
you pull out some sort of silver chalice, start to
Yeah.
take some of the blood, start to put it around the rim. It's going to take you a while and a lot of concentration to get this result. So I'll give you the results later in the night as you continue to do this sorcery. I believe it takes about an hour.
Yeah. So I just take the blood out as fast as possible
Mm.
and then just, cap it with something. I'm like, I'll deal with this later.
How many successes,
Oh,
Sunrise?
4.
4. The
Mhm.
technology here, actually with 4 successes, you're able to rewire parts of it, and as you do so, there's a and the music just shuts down. And Jeremy, you can continue to dance to the nothingness if you choose, but the the music has stopped. The lights go down. You try to flick with some of the.
Jeremy makes his own music.
It pulls out the phone, pulls up Spotify, has Jeremy's playlist playing.
It's called Vampires Playlist. Just want to keep in mind.
Of course it is. And the music goes down, the lights go down, you begin to fiddle with it back up. You get the lights in this dance room up, but the rest of it, the blood sorcery that Louise explains to you, has decimated the electricity here in the area, and you won't be able to get it back up. However,
They can just do that now. I am the simmer continues to rise.
However, you do get the advantage of the security cameras have been destroyed for this entire process, making your cleanup quite a lot easier.
Okay. That's all I'll just turn to Louise like that's all I could get. I don't know how you stand it. Magic is fucking wild.
It is, and that's sort of why I just sort of stopped there because I just remember that I have a shadow now, so I'm like,
Oh, you turn back and Elle is not there. Elle is gone. Ginny is the only intern still remaining here, who's still on the first floor, sitting in one of the booths, breathing nice and deep, looking a little bit green in the cheeks.
I go up to her. Where are the other interns? In the car?
I'll be honest. I only saw Rufus not come in. I didn't see the others. I've just been down here.
All right. You can go back into the car. If you would like.
Hold on. No, Jenny, make yourself useful. You said you're good at controlling people. If anyone's still roaming around or asking too many questions, you mind whammy them. All right, go be useful. Okay, sweetheart. Thank you.
Well, I thought I could be a bit more useful. Being here and being at the front of everything.
Why?
Just want to show that I'm really eager, to be part of everything.
I like the enthusiasm. Really, I do. But do you know anything about blood magic?
No, I've seen it.
Child of Malakov.
Normally I would have the patience to deal with this. I kind of don't right now, so it would really be helpful if you just go do as I say.
Let's have manipulation leadership, please.
Okay. Let's true hunger and there. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I'll spend a willpower because I'm that person right now. Okay, it's only 2 successes.
2 successes. Ginny nods. Since it's a lot easier since you are appearing to be the closest one to Danny at this point, she will probably listen to you a lot more. So she nods and
Mhm.
goes, yes, that makes sense. I can actually do more if I'm outside with all these people doing all this. I will make everyone forget. You'll see how good I am at making people forget. I'll just be outside, okay? Okay?
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you.
As she makes her way out to do as you command, Sunrise, your compulsion washes out of your system. You find some relief as the beast takes its claws out of you, but it still remains there.
Just pop my jaw. I
You
fucking
all
hate
right?
when that happens. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I just. Mm,
It's one of
I'm
those
good.
days.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm perfect. Nothing's ever wrong. Anyway, let's go deal with these fucking madmen.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I will get you to make a wits awareness check while you are all speaking about everything going on. As some of you have had to make your way down back to the first
Mhm.
floor to have this discussion with Ginny, all the interns have disappeared from this place. Ginny is just outside, um, talking to people, making sure things are under control. But Rufus and Elle have gone. 4? Was that 2 or 4?
No, two.
Two
Sorry. Yeah,
successes.
I would have done 4.
As you sort of flip and turn your body in certain ways, changing your perspective and shifting through this place, it's because of these different perspectives. You start to imagine what this would have been like and what might have happened here. And through this, getting lost in the process of dancing, even though there's no music playing, you sort of relive some of those ways that this would have happened, uh, subconsciously, perhaps. And as you do so, you turn, seeing this streak of blood that drags its way up to this tiny little window at the very top of this room that is one of those very small squares that is only there to let the air out. That just the blood goes all the way up and out the other side.
I'm still in the same room
I'll
as him dancing.
Mm.
Just watch this.
If
away.
you
I'll take a liberty and say that he's imagining that this sort of scenario as like a dance battle where people get murdered.
Yes.
So the Sabat come in and they start dancing and they bang start punching things. So he's imagining it as a dance battle and he's on the other side winning.
There's this like, I don't know if you want to do it as like the staying alive, like point and slowly make your way up with the finger going all the way up as you point towards this particular blood stain that looks like something got dragged up and through.
Mm-hmm. I will indeed. He'll be sort of like in the moment, pretending that there's a like it's like shadow boxing, but he's dancing. So there's like a shadow assailant in front of him who he's dancing against, and he'll run for the window and he'll be like, "Get back here!" As he points to the hole.
Imogen, you notice this. Jeremy's intuitiveness and dancing has somehow revealed this particular thing to you.
Was it a kindred?
Hard to
Or
tell.
just
It's very likely because it could have been some sort of creature as well, because it looks like something was dragged up and it left a bloody mess up and through the window.
so it went through the window.
Through this
Is it-
very small, almost letterbox window.
I'm gonna look through the letterbox window and see if there's anything on the ground.
It's too high up for you to reach, but you can easily tell that it goes out onto the back alley outside the building. So you can easily make your way down and out to see the other side.
Hey Jeremy, do you want to dance outside into the alley and see something for me? I know this is me asking for help, and normally I don't, but I don't want to get dirty.
How hard is it to punch through a wall without potence?
So to punch through a brick wall without potence is quite.
Just a rough idea, yeah.
So
very
there's
difficult.
a system called feats of strength in VTM, which you count your
Mhm.
strength score and if your potence, if you have it. Which if you reach that
Mm-hmm.
particular difficulty, you are able to just do the thing without a check. Otherwise, you'll need to make a relevant check. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, to punch through brick, you need a point score of 8, I believe. Yes. So you need strength and potence dots equal to 8 to do it without a check, but you can make a check to see if you can reach that.
Would you consider this action reckless? Unnecessarily reckless?
Absolutely, I would.
Then I'll make the check with the +2 from Daredevil for doing something completely reckless.
Mhm. Strength brawl, please. So the difficulty isn't 8. It's just that's just if you want to do it without making a check. Strength brawl, please. And yeah, let's see.
That is a crit, so that's automatically 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
How much of the wall do you want to destroy?
And perhaps enough to go through it.
Like a perfect cutout or like just a big section?
Well, just a big section, enough to fit through. I don't want to do a Looney Tunes.
You would think that Jeremy was a Bruja with the way that this particular, I imagine it's a dance move that suddenly turns into some sort of fist that just crashes through. Sunrise and Louise, you hear this big boom as the bricks just shatter down into the alleyway, leaving this large section for probably 2 people abreast to fit through in this particular way. Makes it look easy.
Please remember we are trying to uphold the masquerade in this already bad situation.
He's like
At this point, you might
moonwalking
as well
out the
take the whole building down.
I just will.
Dude, I freaking shredded that dance floor, bruh.
What do I see through the hole in the wall now?
You see Rufus bent over someone, fangs deep into their neck, and they are just blood is just flowing from them. And someone at the other end of the alleyway points and screams towards Rufus.
God damn it. Oh.
I guess I call for what was the other intern's name?
Jenny?
Elle
Blonde girl.
or Ginny.
Elle.
Jenny.
Elle
Jenny,
is
can you
your
get this one?
Ginny quickly runs around, says, "Oh my god!" Goes to stop Rufus, and Rufus's backhand flings her across
Oh.
the alleyway and into
Oh
the
no,
wall.
no, no! I
Why
asked
would
for Jenny
you-
to. No, I asked for Jenny to go.
Or to go away.
Cloud memory. No, the cloud
Get the
memory.
climb.
No, exactly right. She would misunderstand that as Rufus. And even if she tries to pass by Rufus, just wham, slams into her. She hits the wall, goes down, and flops down. She goes, oh. She looks at her cream suit that is now dirtied with pizza and muck and blood.
Oh. I feel bad for being mean to her now.
Can I restrain him?
Can somebody get the
Strength brawl, please.
I'll go. I'll go get the human, and I'm gonna go if in tandem with Jeremy getting Rufus. I'm gonna go try to get that human.
Actually, you know what? Can I take that metal baseball bat and just crack him across the skull?
Absolutely, you
Does that work
can.
better?
Strength melee, please. Okay. This will be very interesting.
That sounded encouraging.
Otherwise, I have something in waiting just in case something doesn't go right.
Not a single success.
Oh
Do
no.
the one
Do you want
thing
to use willpower or rouse the blood?
Ah,
I'm gonna sneeze.
I probably should willpower reroll that.
Why not?
This sheet isn't very good for willpower though. I need some other way to keep track of it. I might just set it to 8 and then untick 1 as a way of keeping track, because there is no like half ticking system. It's
Yeah, that's
weird.
fine. Let's see if we get any more successes.
1.
So ties go to the player. Because I got one success
Did
as
he
well.
actually roll that
He actually
terribly?
rolled
Yes!
awfully as well. As ties go to the player as Rufus pulls off of this human. You just hear conk as this aluminum, very satisfying sound actually hits him across the back of the head. He goes forward, turns back towards you, Jeremy, licks his lips and just sorry.
Remember yourselves. This is the first thing.
He'll
First thing
like
he said.
just to keep things cool between him and Rufus, he'll like take the bat that he just cracked him on the head with and like do a just keep dancing.
The person at the end of the hallway just passes out. Like they just faint from this entire just situation that they've seen before. They've seen someone eat someone, apologize for it, someone hit them with a bat at full force, and then continue dancing. They just information overload and just collapse back unconscious.
Oh goodness. Well, I'd be like, no, sweetheart, you gotta wake up. You're gonna be so concussed. It's okay. Come on. Try to get them up just so that I know for sure they're mind whammied in case they got people to talk to. I'd be like, come on, wake up.
As you sort of slap them and move them around, they sort of slowly come to.
Could always give them a little bit.
There was a shooting. Keep moving.
I'm gonna, I will. So a lot of disciplines being thrown out at once, but just activate awe so that their attention is on me. Be like, everything's fine. Everything will be all right. I just need you to forget about everything you saw.
Mom?
Mommy?
Oh, sweetie, I'm too good looking to be your mother.
As you, I imagine this is Forgetful Mind.
This is, I don't know how long it's been. I have cloud memory. I just want the immediate thing of seeing Rufus and them. So cloud
memory will be enough
like,
time.
Forget.
As you forget, their eyes glaze over. They're unprepared mortals. They collapse back unconscious in the moment.
Oh, there we go. We're just gonna let you sleep in the dumpster.
Ginny
Okay.
stands up.
Rufus,
Ooh, I see.
Was this person back here when you were back here? Got back here?
Rufus just shrugs, points towards the bloodstain that continues down the alleyway.
It wasn't
Okay.
my night
The
to do an investigation on a Sabbat raid of this area. Yes, I'm going to tell you that this is the Sabbat raid. This isn't my job. Where is this sheriff?
Rufus shrugs. Luis, you've got the direct line. The sheriff is on the way. And we'll clean up everything for you. In the meantime, your jobs are on the line.
Where is the did I see the Bruja that we're supposed to find?
No, you haven't seen the Bruja that you're supposed to find here. They were supposed to be here. They aren't here currently.
I'm very much wondering if somebody gave somebody bad information to our boss.
Is there so I know the technology in this building was fried. Is there a building nearby or someone's personal or someone like a business nearby that I could possibly get into their security cameras and see if Penelope was ever here like at all, or see if I can get an idea of where she might have went?
I'll throw you a bone here. Make a wits, just a wits investigation or awareness, whatever you're best at.
All righty. It is it's both. I have pretty
Great.
good awareness and investigation. So
Oh.
I'm gonna rouse to if I can, rouse to increase my wits.
Absolutely, you can. What's
Amazing.
Can
Louise?
yeah, so sorry. I
Not at all.
can I use my level 2 ability synaptic enhancement, where it's like widely used
Yes.
considers themselves technomancers. This power uses the dead brain as an auxiliary computer. The vampire draws in the ambient charge from around them, immediately applies the charge in an unorthodox way, channeling it into their mental facilities, enhancing and essentially giving themselves medical electoral brain stimulation and increasing their cognitive function.
Absolutely, you
incredible.
can. I believe you'll need to
So
make some
yeah,
sort
so
of
any
rouse.
yes, I need to make a rouse check.
And then you can
I get
also,
hungrier.
you can also make a wits awareness or wits investigation and add your bonus to that.
Wait, it's only two. Oh wait, no, it's only two academic, science, and technology roles.
In that no, this will be useful depending on Sunrise's roll. How
Okay.
is Sunrise's roll?
So I got 2 successes.
Yep. Someone had to have. What do people do when something goes wrong? Do they go and help? No, they pull out their phones and they record it. You pat this person down in front of you or one of the bodies inside, take their cellular device.
Yes.
I imagine you handed it to Luis. Luis, you channel it through into the phone itself. And by just touching it and using, so you can make an intelligence technology and add your bonus on top of that as well.
Okay.
I don't know if because Louise is using blood sort like magic to do it, but I am actually very good at technology if I could help. But if it's because they're using magic and it makes it weird.
No,
okay.
you
No,
hand it to them by finding it. You can add a dice.
All right.
And Imogene and Jeremy, what are you doing in the meantime while this is happening?
Yeah,
Jeremy was going to dance follow the blood trail.
Okay.
Great. Excellent. You start
I'm
to
following Jeremy. I have my capped thing of blood so I can discern whose gold that was.
Yeah. As you turn and make your way down along the alleyway, you follow it for a little bit of time, maybe about 2-3 minutes walking. It twists, it winds, it goes up onto the wall, and then it comes back down. It brushes against a street post until you find yourself at a sort of abandoned pub, it looks like, on the corner of the road. It looks like it's been covered with construction things blocking out the windows, saying, coming soon, this particular building. The blood it goes into one of those broken windows that probably some hooligan smashed a long time ago, and it crawls up it and inside the building here itself. How many successes, Louise?
I got 9 successes. I got 3
9
onks.
successes.
3 onks.
Incredible.
You don't happen to have premonition as an Auspex skill, do you?
I do not.
Okay, that's fine then. Using it's almost like you were the phone in this particular case. You see through exactly. You almost like there's a pixelated, strange thing you saw. You get a clear view of exactly what this thing is. It is this huge, elongated, pale-skinned creature that completely hairless, that has these long praying mantis claws that is grabbing a 20, 25, 27-year-old woman with white hair and a purple streak through the hair as well, and dragging her through the alleyway out of the building. And this thing is about 10, 11 feet tall. Has these sort of long membranes at the back, like a bat, and shrieks in this like otherworldly way as it drags her through the street and down and away out of sight.
I show this to Sunrise.
My immediate reaction, what the fuck is that?
I'm guessing perhaps a Zemitzi. I'm hoping.
Shit. That's our whole fucking job. Nope. Okay. See, I'm not about to have some mutated dragon motherfucker take my security away. Okay. I'm not gonna let that happen. Okay. Great.
Let's at least find, if the person is dead, we can at least find evidence that they are already dead, so we can wipe our hands clean of a boon that will not be able to be delivered because all of the people are dead.
Oh, Louise, you're beautiful and intelligent. Ugh, I would be lost without you. Where do I
As-
go? Try to find a room.
As you make your way following, just a few minutes behind Imogene and Jeremy. Imogene and Jeremy, what are you doing in this current moment here?
I'm immediately going into that pub.
You step down, pull the things up. There's police tape across it. You make your way inside.
Before Jeremy walks in, she presses a stake into his hand and into his just like, hold this, please. He probably has no idea what's coming.
Sure. He's got a baseball bat and he's got a stick.
Oh,
Sure.
dual wielding. Hell yeah. Stepping inside. It's very dark in here. There is glass crunching underneath Jeremy's shoes. And cold. Very cold and quiet. As you see the blood trail goes off and slinks its way. There's a big pool in the middle. If any of you have hunger 4, you will need to make a hunger frenzy check. And then excellent. You are all under control in this particular moment. And it drags then, almost looks like it flails and then like it throws whatever it was holding around and then drags it down into the basement, into the cellar where kegs are usually held in pubs.
Immediately thrown up Dant. And then I will attempt to find a way down into the basement.
Yeah, you follow
less dancey now, but still sort of nodding his head to a rhythm. But he's getting there.
Now with this, I'm doing a taste for blood on the blood pool. Just taste.
Excellent. Let's make that check again. Intelligence and blood sorcery, I believe it is.
Resolve plus blood sorcery.
Thank you for the correction. Resolve blood sorcery.
I have my books up. I was like,
excellent.
I need to know this.
In the meantime, while our characters are already inside, Sunrise and Luis arrive to see this blood stain moving into this abandoned pub, wooden building.
Whoa. So I got a 10 and a 9 on my hunger dice because I have 2 hunger still.
Mm-hmm.
And then
2 successes.
What is the difficulty?
Yes, the difficulty is 3.
Okay, so then I have 4 successes.
Perfect. For taste for blood, you learn this is kindred vitae poured around here. It's not a critical success. Tasting it reveals the relative blood potency. Approximately, it would be blood potency 2, very similar to you guys as well. Clearly, probably an ancillate or a neonate. And that's all you learn from this without a critical.
I don't know do I need to roll? It says my clan bane is tasting the blood of kindred provokes a hunger frenzy.
That's right. You will need to make a hunger frenzy roll as you taste the kindred vitae.
unspent
Please succeed.
willpower. For me.
I don't want to have to deal with you right now.
You don't, that's why.
And Sunrise and Luis, you're outside this pub. Looks like the start of every horror movie that goes wrong.
4 successes.
Excellent.
I don't freak out. I just taste it. It's just
Mm.
like-
Shall we?
Might as well.
As the two of you step inside to the broken glassed area, you see Imogene having tasted this blood, taking a moment to just collect themselves before Imogene, you remain in control. The beast flares up for a brief moment, but you calm yourself as you're incredibly in
Stuff
control.
it back down in the bag.
Mm.
Yep. Just like, this is a kindred blood right here. But we have to go downstairs. I saw Jeremy go do the thing, go down. And then I have to go find our wayward intern. I think he went downstairs.
All right. I can probably do something about the Zemitzi, but if I have to do what I have to do, you're going to need to step back.
There's a Zemitzi in the area? What?
It's most likely a Zemitzi. There's a video. It's a long story.
I will go find Jeremy to make sure that he has not met the final death then.
Jeremy, nodding their way downstairs alone, sees this room full of old boxes, old kegs that have collected dust, some of them smeared with blood, and a mattress, old and dirty. This is where all the electrical systems are, all the pumps that connect to the old kegs and make their way up to where the taps are upstairs. There is the squeal of a rat in the corner of the room as it ducks away from you. There is one single light beam coming from a window. Again, another very small letterbox window that is slightly ajar. That the street light's blue light causes this sort of ray to come in and illuminate the middle of the room, but it keeps the rest, the edges, dark. You hear movement. Do you have any particular skills that allow you to see in the dark? Eyes of the Beast or
no.
or specs. Okay. You do not see. No, wits awareness. See if you can see in this darkness that surrounds this room.
At this point, Jeremy would have shoved the stake in his back pocket, and he is like holding both hands on the baseball bat at this point. Just want to clarify.
Yep.
That is a 2.
2 successes. You see, as you step further into the room, that there is 2 figures lying backs down on the mattress, facing up towards the roof. Looks like one of them looks like they're both resting. It seems. And I know Jeremy is not exactly subtle in their in the stealthy like Imogene is.
He's also got Daunt up, so they've if they are aware, they can feel that sort of repelling.
Yeah, it's almost like a magnetic wave that goes through the ears as this figure rises up, like all Tzimisce stereotypically tend to do, just flips up onto their boots, and it's a middle-aged man. He's got long curly hair. He's wearing a flat beanie that is rainbow colored across their head. They've got small beady glasses. They've got a tie-dye shirt, and they've got cargo shorts with socks and sandals on. As they make their way up, they've got these sort of slightly clawed hands as they observe you, Jeremy.
Just still nodding my head.
Imogene, you arrive now as you were the next one. You see from the staircase, Jeremy is in front of these 2 figures, and the figure says, What's up?
What are you freaking doing, bruh?
What are you doing?
You freaking down here freaking doing freaking things, bruh?
Yeah. You're ruining my groove. This is my
Ruining my
place.
groove, bruh.
What?
Freaking bruh. Don't have a dance battle or some shit?
He steps up and he starts dancing. Jeremy and this Samitsi are now going to do a dance off. So please make dexterity performance with your specialty in dancing.
I'm gonna rise for this as well.
Are we seeing this?
Imogen is definitely
Okay.
seeing
We're
this. You can hear a voice from downstairs. You hear the word dance. And you hear a lot of bras being thrown around. I think after a few moments, Sunrise and Louise would see coming around the corner and see what's happening here.
This might as well happen.
Oh my god.
4 successes. He's going to take some willpower damage as he starts to dance. And he's not very good at it. He's like clearly from like Woodstock era and is sort of used to just swaying in place. But Jeremy, you've got the moves. All of you sort of go, damn, Jeremy can dance, like seriously. And the Samitsi's like as they're dancing around the light in the middle of the room, the Samitsi backs off and hisses. We're gonna make another roll again, another dance off as this social combat continues. You can do another dexterity dance roll if you'd like to.
While they're
Rising again.
while they're like
Success.
distracted dancing
Yeah.
off, can we go grab
Penelope,
bra?
yeah.
Penelope.
Absolutely.
Can I? You shine your phone. Is it Penelope? Do we see
Imogen, it
Penelope?
is the remains of Penelope. She is her body is rotted away.
Oh no.
I take her ashes. So like we gotta, just so we can say we have proof.
Here,
Yeah.
I got a Ziploc bag in here somewhere. I used to keep it for, snacks, but now it's just a habit now.
Some incredible things are
Critical
happening.
critical success, Ethan.
Yeah, they were going to get a messy critical. Amazing. This Samitsi starts to grow extra limbs to dance harder. But Jeremy, you go even harder than this Samitsi. And they are going to back down now and retreat into the darkness and hiss as they back down and concede the social combat that you defeat them in. He goes, whoa.
Freaking shredded, bruh.
Jesus, are you okay? I mean, you're fucking good at dancing. Jesus, just stop, please. I can't look at it anymore. It's too good.
Wow.
You caused a spectacle outside there, sir.
I'm just,
Not Jeremy.
I was just hungry. I was just really hungry. And they were there. Okay?
Freaking go to Taco Bell, bruh.
Whatever that thing that happened there wasn't me. I might have gotten a little hungry and taken what was left, but it wasn't me. Okay?
What
Mm.
was the thing then?
Savaged.
It was 3 figures, young woman, 2 young women, and a young man.
What's your age?
What did they look like?
I don't know. Age is just a number, you know? It's just
Like,
numbers, part of the
Can I-
systems. Shouldn't
Like, are
listen
you
to
an
people.
elder? I don't
attempt to
think you're an
intimidate him?
elder or anything like that.
You shouldn't listen to what people say about ancillaries and elders and stuff. They're all just ways of the system, man. Don't listen to that. We're all free kindred spirits.
Can I attempt to intimidate his ass?
Of course you can. Manipulation, intimidation. Add.
Luis is just trying to like figure out if this was the person with the horrid form, because like if they're older, then most likely they were the one, but if they're not, then he can kind of like, this is just a weird scavenger. Like,
Add 2 extra dice, Jeremy, as you are in a position of power by dancing, by winning the dance off in this particular situation.
Yeah. And Jeremy will say, "You better freaking own up, bruh, before I fucking shred your ass again."
dance?
How many successes?
4.
4. He hisses, almost like, he's adopted a new mythical flaw of like incredible dancing, like and like backs off into the corner of the room. You've seen this person, Louise, create extra legs to try and dance. You can tell this is Tsumitsu. They have the ability to suddenly change their form in all those ways. This is clearly the one that you saw shrieking, grabbing the and grabbing Penelope, who you were after. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I just took someone who was around. I was hungry, man. Just chill out. Relax. Let's talk about this.
I kind of don't
Right.
like, I like him. I don't know.
Yeah, is he
Like,
is he telling the truth, or
Like,
is he hiding some shit?
What's insight, please? You can use
Alrighty.
motives or
Okay.
detect lies as specialties if you have them.
Alrighty. I do not have any specialties, but I did rouse my wit. Are we in the same scene?
We are in the same scene.
Uh,
Yes.
Okay, so my wits is still roused.
This sort of 40-second
or-
club
yeah.
and this area are all part of the same scene.
And then insight. Got it. Okay. Got 2 successes.
Two
but
successes.
if it's a failure, it's a bestial failure. If 2 is
is-
not enough, it's a bestial failure.
No, it's a degree of failure or success, so not a
Okay.
failure. In this case, 2 successes. This person probably couldn't deceive you if they tried. They're clearly so bad at lying and manipulating that
Mhm.
even with 2 successes, you can tell that they're telling the truth.
Okay.
They did not
Yeah.
cause this problem. They came
Mhm.
after it happened. They were basically a scavenger, a hyena that came
Alright.
afterwards.
Okay. So, I mean, first of all, we didn't even ask your name. Apologies. How may we address you?
Well, I mean, what name would you like to give me? Like I'm telling you, the things they give us.
bad
Like,
dancer, bruh.
ugh. He hisses really loudly and looks down. He can't even look at you with Daunt still active, Jeremy. If you want to call me that, that's fine. You can call me whenever you want.
just a Joe for now.
Joe seems that.
Joe.
Thank you, Louise. That Joe is fine.
Joe, it is.
Joe, I don't even want to begin to unpack what that was, but I understand that you saw an opportunity to feed and you took it upon yourselves. But lucky for you, we represent the Schmidt Boon agency office. So in return for cleaning up this little mess of yours, you're gonna exchange with us. We'll just put it, I'm gonna say like a basic well, I would say a major boon would be acceptable, getting the chaos that's around you, and we can supplement some of the ire that is no doubt going to befall on you should the sheriff come down. Because I mean, the sheriff is, let's just say, a hard ass. So they're going to be looking for somebody to punish, and I don't want it to be you. Do we want it to be Joe here, guys? Come on.
No.
No,
No, we
the
can
sheriff
say-
is
we could-
freaking dope at dancing.
Oh, you
We
could
can
have.
say
Likes
that
baseball.
you fell into a frenzy or something with all the blood massacre going around, and
You're gonna put me
just-
through the system, and you're gonna knock on me like that. That's so uncool.
Yeah, we are. Well, you're in a sewer and we're taking advantage. Well, basement, and we're taking advantage. So, you tell us what you saw, if you can recall descriptions of the individuals who attacked, and and then you will cover for you for the sheriff, and you can go about your way. And should you need anything else, we can give you a call. You can give a call to the office. We're happy to do any favors for equal or higherly priced boons in exchange.
I think we should freaking let him go. Cause like snitches get stitches, bruh.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Our job, we're literally snitches, though, Jeremy. That's our job.
Unfortunately, the person that he killed was our job. So
Yes.
That too.
Oh,
it is not just a random human we can just
I mean,
cover up.
killed is subjective. I guess they still kind of live.
The boon that she had upon you has transferred to you now.
Fuck.
I hope it
Oh,
wasn't for dancing, bruh.
really?
So you can come with us, or we can let you meet Kadir.
He's very serious about his job.
I don't want Kadir to find you because he doesn't, if he finds out what you are, he'll probably think you are what happened down that way.
He's got a whole history.
Okay, all right. If you tell him to stop dancing, I'll come.
Jeremy.
I'll come and I'll do the fucking system or whatever you say.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Jeremy, stop dancing.
Freaking freak, man.
Also turn
Jeremy?
down your
Different.
scariness, please.
Yeah, he'll turn off Daunt, but he'll now go sulk in a corner.
Freaking freak.
Jeremy, you did such a good job. Thank you for everything
You
that you
did, you
do. You're very handsome. He's so handsome.
Freaking no, bruh.
Love it.
The
Beautiful people always do.
with following the procedure of the Schmidt boon delivery service, having committed diablerie does mean this Samitsi now is the new proprietor of the boon. Having completed the job, we take the Samitsi hippie out and up towards the limousine where Rufus and Ginny wait.
Where's
Elle,
No
Elle?
L.
Elle has not returned, it seems.
Oh,
Just going to say that she abandoned us, whatever. Okay, let's go.
we're not
Wanna
at all.
deal
You're not
with
at
the
all
spot.
concerned. All right. Okay.
She didn't want to deal with the Sabat very well.
Well,
She's probably narking to the Tremere, probably. Let's go.
all right. Well, I'm gonna write a scathing peer review because if anyone's getting kicked out for downsizing, it's not gonna be me.
What is
Go ahead.
the taste of not taste of blood, the ritual that Imogene did?
That's right. You would have finished it by now. So this would be Blood Walk, the extension.
Yep.
Subjects repeats an incantation over the night. Win on the roll allows them to learn the generation and the name of the subject as well as the subject's sire. The sire, well, I guess in this case it would allow you to get who turned them into a ghoul, which might not surprise you is the lovely Helen Panhard, the Prince of New York.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
It's the
That
sheriff's.
it is the sheriff's
Sheriff's.
problem. And I told this to Lewis. I was like, tell Kadir that the prince's ghoul was
Mhm.
taken out by this attack.
I'll message him in the private texting app
Mm-hmm.
what we discovered through blood sorcery.
Danny sends just the most inappropriate gif at this time into the group chat before you see Danny removed a message coming up, replaced by a more appropriate gif in response. A bit more poignant, a thumbs up gif of some kind. And you get nothing but silence from the rest of that particular chat with those figures in there, as there tends to be. However, you make your way back to the limousine, and I'd like to ask if there's any discussion or any actions taken in the scene as we make our way back towards the Boon office.
I would like to say something. So I know the usual progress that would happen is that we would hand this over to Kadir. He would be fucking devastatingly gorgeous while he did his job. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna get sidetracked, and then we would go about our business. But with the element of the office being downsized, how would you all feel if we took a little bit more responsibility on ourselves? On top of doing our normal job, just maybe dabble in like seeing what this Sabat did. Why? I mean, did they attack? You got to be pretty bold to attack a bar where the prince likes to
We
hang
are
out.
sort of already.
I mean, it sounds
helping.
like something the Sabat would do, honestly.
Right, but I don't. After getting their asses kicked the first time a couple of years back, a lot of people died in the meantime. So I'm not saying it was like an easy victory, but to just do something so bold after the New York event.
Strange. There hasn't been a Sabat problem in years, so for them to do this in the city,
right,
it's concerning.
It feels like they either have nothing to lose or they're very confident. And yes, those are two distinctly different battle plans because people get buck wilds.
So you want to investigate the Sabat in New York?
I do.
I suppose we could do this as a side job. Because I feel like Kadir wouldn't like the help.
Well, then we don't ask. We just listen. What I've learned in this Vinci circles that I have been in, you do the job and show up and then show everybody else that they're not good enough to do it. And then you get the accolades because you're putting social pressures on those around you, and they have to either accept it or they look like a straight fucking asshole if they don't do anything about it. And then it double whammies them because then it shows that they couldn't do it in the first place. So you don't ask for permission for stuff. You just do it.
Sure. Well, let's investigate the Sabat.
Oh my gosh. Yay.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts on doing this with us and learning some things?
There'll probably be more dance battles.
Do I get freaking paid?
Yeah.
Are these paid interns?
I don't really care.
These are not paid interns. Okay.
Well, I mean, more dance battles.
You'll get paid in drinks.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, and
Starts nodding his head again. He's cheered up.
Ginny and Rufus, you're here too.
Ginny is still like shaking and looking at her muddied suit like Rufus.
I hand her some wet from my pocketbook. I'll hand her like some wet naps and a Tide to Go pen. She's gonna need that.
She takes them in her shaky hands and just starts taking pepperoni slices off of the suit and moving the mud off as best she can, but it is ruined. Rufus is probably lying back and just resting. One of the bottles slowly making its way down to the floor. Now characters arrive back at the office. The ghoul driving lets you know you will exit out into the beautiful high-rise, making your way up via the stairs or the elevator, seeing the beautiful reflective surfaces on every possible place here. And as you make your way up, Louise, you see Danny and Elle are having a conversation in the office above. Where you are, as you're making your way up through the elevator, you see them standing in the middle of the office. Danny's nodding, and Elle is talking to him. Can't quite make out what they're saying from this distance, as there's a lot of walls between you and a loud elevator
Can
as
I
you're making your way up.
turn on heightened senses?
You can, but it won't help you because of the elevator's grinding motion. We'll make a check to see if you can hear, though, with heightened senses. It will be wits awareness. So using your hearing.
Is there elevator music?
No. It's
Absolutely,
only, you know what? I'll
it.
use a
The
willpower.
most Girl from Ipanema is always playing, all the time, consistently. If you haven't heard that song, that's the one
You
that
know what?
plays
And
in
I'm
every
gonna,
elevator ever.
yeah, I'll use a willpower just
Why
to
not?
get two.
2, you hear what Danny is saying, not what Elle says. Danny is nodding, going, yeah. No, I think that works. Maybe not them, but possibly the others. Well, I didn't really expect. No, I understand. No, I get it. We'll make sure that you're treated very carefully about all of this. And that's when you hear the ding and the doors open up. You make your way back into the office. Danny claps his hands together. Elle's face flattens out, turns into just the neutral appearance, and Elle walks up next to Louise and stands next to Louise again. Danny claps. Well, fucking done, people. Let's go. Schmidt family.
Mm,
Damn.
thank you.
Um,
Like, well,
We're
know,
not-
it was to be expected.
It was so exciting to go find out that Penelope got diablerized.
Oh, she got Super 8.
These things happen. And, part of our Schmidt rules is that if it gets, diablerized, passed on, it's still legally their problem now. As they
Oh, we have that problem for you now.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. They pass it off to some of the ghouls that work in the office as security, and the Samitsi is taken away and will be processed through the arrangements. You're all handed the best part of the job, the paperwork for all of everything that happened, and the reports, the
Yay.
huge stacks of paper that you need to fill out and make sure everything is in order.
Mhm.
I asked Danny, did the sheriff call or anything like that?
No calls from Kadir, but you must understand we are a little bit under the notice of a lot of these figures. They will tend to disregard us as not real harpies and not an actual business and breaking the masquerade constantly. This doesn't matter. We're doing our jobs. And you proved that tonight, might I say. Each one of you individually proved that. And I'm so proud. You might as well change I can legally change your last names to Schmidt if you want. I can do that. I can ask the prince. It can happen.
No,
It'll
thank you.
be the Schmidt.
That's fine.
Okay, you know what? The offer's always there. I'll make sure the papers are ready. They can be signed at any point, just in case that's something you want. Otherwise, once you finish the papers, you get the rest of the night off because, hell, that's all I got for you. And the interns seem to be in one piece. That's good. It's always positive. Looks at Ginny. Ginny's still shaking, terrified.
Mhm.
Danny, just
A forgetful mind might do her good if
she'll be
wants.
fine. She'll be fine. It's all part of the job, right? All part of the job. You remember your first massacre, don't you?
Yes. I think
I'm Ben Hakim. I'm used to massacres.
Exactly. See what I mean? People everywhere here get it. We get it. And he folds Ginny's hand, shaking hand down into a fistly. That's what I'm talking about. Schmidt family. All right.
And I'm like, Ginny, we can go and do the HR stuff now. And I take my stack of paperwork with me and leave.
She follows you into that section of the office. Rufus gives a grunt and just leaves. He just leaves the building. He goes out, he walks downstairs, walks out. Danny excitedly goes to go before he stops, and he looks over at Jeremy and goes, "Nice fucking bat. Holy shit.
I know, right? It's like freaking cool and shit.
That's
Got a
so
little bit of blood on it. Like,
What?
fuck.
even slightly dent. You could
Yeah.
see the shape of the head in that one. Oh,
Crack the skull, bruh.
absolutely wild
yeah.
as always, Jeremy. Love it. Love it.
It's totally not your bad or anything, bruh.
No, I mean, like, make a manipulation subterfuge, please.
We got a 5.
He's like, I mean, yeah, duh. My bat was stolen like ages ago. Of course, it's not mine. I mean, we're probably the same game. Probably got signed by the same person, or maybe they gave him a different one. And they sell a lot of the same bats. Of course, they sell a lot of the same bats. It's probably one of those mass-produced.
Jeremy like licks his finger and starts rubbing out the signature.
He does believe it's not his, so he sort of looks at that, is pained that it's happening, but he's like, thank God it's not my bat. That would be awful in his eyes, and he nods and goes, I'm going to keep looking for mine. I probably left in the bathroom when I was in there earlier. You guys just...
Yeah, probably, bruh.
Yeah, you finish off the paperwork. Night's yours, yeah? And I'll see you all tomorrow. And I think you've all... That's the first out of 4. Don't forget, your quota's 4 Boon deliveries a week. Yeah? All right. Schmidt family. He holds up his hand for a high five for all of you. Schmidt family. As he runs past and makes his way. Before he stops, turns and says, have a Schmidt day. Makes his way out and goes to the bathroom.
Schmidt off, bruh.
Now Luis is thinking, like, did he legally change his name to Schmidt after his sire?
Happens all the time.
Our characters have some brief time for any final moments they'd like in this night. Perhaps where they go afterwards, or do they stay there filling out this gigantic amount of paperwork before we end our session?
Paperwork.
Jeremy's
all
an intern.
day.
He's gone.
Jeremy's gone.
Luis will go through like a good amount of it before saying, like, I'll just come in early and do the rest tomorrow. And
Same.
and he'll basically go to leave. and basically do what he usually does, and he basically checks his other calendar, not his work calendar, his other work calendar, and see which club he is scheduled to perform in today.
Well, it was going to be somewhere near the 42nd, but that's changed due to recent events. It'll be a little bit across town this time.
Probably still more high-end sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he'll go do that.
Louise and Jeremy and Rufus all leave the building. Sunrise stays going through that, I imagine, very meticulous detail of all of these things. All the names are signed, every detail is informed before, I imagine, they would go just into their coffin that's in the wall in the office area.
I got to feed pretty well tonight. Got a little hunger, but yeah, I think after the end of it, just head on back inside.
And Imogene, what do we see?
I am talking to Jenny,
Mm.
Jeannie, whatever her name is, about what if you want to stay as an intern or if you want to leave, that's fine. But I can definitely assist you with the HR things, and she's gonna do the
Yeah, the
extra
spiel.
things with the spiel, and then you just give me some of your blood, and I can help you with some things.
Yeah, she seems like she knows everything that's going on, but clearly doesn't understand that this is not a usual thing that happens.
No,
And
this is not usual at all. I
and
tell her that. I'm like, we don't deal with a Sabbat. We haven't dealt with a Sabbat since 1999 here when we kicked them out of the city. And when I joined or came under the protection of the Camarilla at that time period.
she goes, it makes sense for blood sorcerers to have records of the blood in case of okay. And she
yeah.
bites her tongue and sort of just dribbles it into the glass.
My cup that I have.
Cup,
Other cup that I have several cups.
Does
So
Imogen go anywhere, or do they finish the paperwork for this night?
they finish the paperwork. They'll go scream in their penthouse because they have a karaoke machine.
Lovely. Some of that, the pent-up frustrations of this one, I imagine, would be especially good to get out after this night. And as we see all of our characters go elsewhere and make their way through, I still have to ask, actually, Jeremy, where does Jeremy go after work?
Jeremy's out on the town, dude. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday night.
Whoop, whoop.
TGIF.
He's just carrying this baseball bat, I guess, and a steak in his back pocket, but he's going to party, man. He's immediately going to party. You probably accidentally kill some people. Who knows?
On that note, which is very appropriate, I think, we end our first session of Vampire the Masquerade, the Boon office, with a very successful collection and delivery of a boon. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And let's reintroduce these wonderful people who've been playing this game and have been making us laugh so much. And please tell us where we can find you, what you're up to, plug all your socials, starting with Victoria.
My name is Victoria. I've been playing Luis Estrada, the Tremere accountant that has a few mysterious side jobs. And you can find me on Twitter at Jesus_spicy, or every Friday. Is it Friday for you? Every Friday or Thursday, depending on your location. With Ethan as we're both players in the show Avignon by Firelight. It is a Dark Ages game. So if you like that sort of thing, you can find me there.
Hello again, back from taking it from the top. My name is Serena Montgomery. You can find me on most social medias by at Serena Carolyn. On at least that's what I say, all the social medias, but it's Twitter. It's just Twitter. I am one of the mainstay GMs over at Dice Dropping. Please give us a follow because I run Vampire the Masquerade over there. I also have some things in the works for later. Don't know when that will be, but later. And all I do is goof around on Twitter and hype people up. That's my entire existence. So that's me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Aaron. I was playing Jeremy Hayes. It wasn't intended, but he's now the dancing queen. Seems to be his thing. He danced
for
his way to
long.
victory here.
Mhm.
He'll probably dance his way to victory in every other session. You can find me over at Roleplay Nights, ROLEPLAYE. For future games, I'm a player in a whole bunch of games that are going to happen in the next year. I'm going to be running a game on there in the next year. Not entirely sure whether it will be streamed or not, but hopefully, if it goes well, it will be. It'll be my first proper DMing experience, which is nerve-wracking. But we pray and we manifest, and hopefully manifest victory,
This is
as
exciting.
Jeremy does. But yes, that is me.
Hell yeah. And the lovely
Oh.
cat.
Mhm.
Hi, I'm Kat. I played Imogene Grady. You can find me as Dead and Glow on a lot of social medias: Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. Those are the big ones that you just Instagram, I guess. I don't know. I don't post very much on there. So I show up on other streams occasionally. I don't have anything in the works right now except for this lovely show, and I'm excited to be in it. It's been entertaining so far.
And thank you, first of all. And I'm Ethan, obviously, storyteller of this game, and these wonderful, wonderful people who throw me for a loop constantly throughout this game. And I'm expecting more loops in the future. I love it. It's fantastic. You can find me over at Ethan Dragons, obviously. But anyway, that's been the game. Stick around next time. Whenever I've posted this in the future for the regular times that it will be in, we're so eager to see you next time for more Vampire the Masquerade Boon Office. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one until then.